All right, so today I got a quote right from David himself. It goes, I know I'm going to get got, but I'm going to get mine more than I get got, though. Welcome to Cody's Corner. Started off real quick. Hello, everybody, and welcome officially to Cody's Corner. Cody's week-by-week hot takes on who's going to take the W in every sport that you like. It's just me and David today, man. Welcome to the show, as always. Sat beside me with the Laker jersey on the back of the chair, David.
Come on now.
Listen, so that quote was by none other than the one and only Marshawn Lynch.
Beast mode.
Beast mode. Seattle Seahawk. You know, David's a big Seattle guy, so
Low-key.
we were talking about something right before the recording started, and we can finish it, right? So,
Yeah.
First and foremost, as we have done in the past, little moment of silence for Akira Toriyama. It says here on Google, one of the most influential manga authors of all time died at age 68. As
Young.
most people know him, the creator of Dragon Ball, the series. Now, this is new information to me that I did not know. I didn't know that the series Dragon Ball Z Kai was like a remade version
Of Dragon Ball Z.
Of Dragon Ball Z. So I'm gonna tell you exactly how I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai as a child.
Okay.
So when I was a child, you were already probably like 45 by then. Right? but needless to say, it was on Nicktoons. Remember Nicktoons, the channel?
Yeah.
And they had so I remember when they came out with Dragon Ball Z.
That's
Kai.
that's already how I know that it wasn't as good because of what you watched.
Don't disrespect Nicktoons.
I will disrespect Nicktoons.
There's zero necessary disrespect for Nicktoons. All right, so it sounds like you're a big anime guy, right?
I dabble.
All right. So, how do you enjoy Avatar: The Last Airbender if you do enjoy it? Do you like the show?
Why are you? That's not anime.
What?
That's animation.
But why? What stops it from being anime? Because it's in English?
No, it doesn't give me. Avatar: The Last Airbender was, I guess, had a good story to it, but it always seemed too kiddish to me. Anime was always there was cartoons,
like a little more graphic.
There was cartoons,
Yeah.
and then there was anime.
Right.
For me, you know what I mean? I don't know, because I watched Berserker, Vash the Stampede, I'm talking. Well, these are some of these are kind of old.
You're speaking a whole different language to me right now.
Bleach, you know what I mean?
Bleach, I've heard of.
But I'm just saying, a lot of these, I guess these animes could be a little bit more violent. I guess you could say a little bit more graphic.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. They might curse in the show, or you know, they might show somebody naked in the show.
Whoa.
Oh my God, they can't show that on Nicktoons.
But with that being said, I never really looked at Avatar as being like anime. However, I am watching the live action show.
Are you now?
I am. And I guess it's okay. The acting's a little cheesy. I'm big on I'm a tough critic.
Right.
But other than that, I guess I don't really have much to compare it to, because I didn't watch the cartoon.
You
so
didn't watch The Last Airbender?
No, I just told you I didn't think it was like anime
Oh, man.
I didn't think it was cool.
Well, let me tell you, as someone who was a child when Avatar: The Last Airbender came out, I watched the whole thing as a child. Now, if you talk, Petey's not here to defend his opinion, right? But he's told me himself he's watched The Last Airbender multiple times.
Really?
This is one of those shows. I feel like, and I had this conversation. I know you're from a different generation of cartoons, also, right? So there is shows that you probably watched more that we haven't. The same way there's shows that we have that you probably haven't, right?
Right.
One of my favorite cartoons that had a actual decent storyline of that era, Nicktoons was my go-to, if I'm being honest. But I was also a big Cartoon Network head. Ben 10. I don't know if you ever. I think you were a little too old for Ben 10, probably, right?
I didn't really watch Ben 10.
Ben 10 was conceptually probably one of my favorite cartoons up to date. it's an interesting, like, just as a concept. The same with Avatar, you know.
No, I know the concept. He gets like different powers from like these aliens, and then he's able to like
Yeah, and
change
he has
it.
the watch, and he
watch
turns
it,
into
yeah.
like different, and like just and like the whole like legions of the plumbers. That stuff. I mean, that's a whole different thing,
Yeah,
man, right? But I was arguing with my friends about. Well, now I can't even argue with it with you now because you didn't watch Avatar or Ben 10. But
No.
I was saying to my friends, I think I enjoyed Ben 10 more than I enjoyed Avatar: The Last Airbender, even though I would say I was never into anime, right, at all. But and this isn't an anime podcast either, right? But the closest I probably watched to an anime was Dragon Ball Z Kai or Avatar. I tried to get into One Piece. It's just super long.
I can't believe I still can't really get over the fact that you thought that Dragon Ball Z Kai was like the original. Like you thought that was what it was called.
Well, can't get over is a bit extreme.
I'm not over it.
Well, you gotta.
So what does that mean? So what does that mean if I'm over here and not over it?
It just means like, look, because you gotta think about it from my perspective, right? As a child, if I'm presented this show, and that is the name of the show on television, why would I believe otherwise?
I have a question. So was there Toonami? For you?
Yeah, I caught like the end of Toonami.
Man.
Like the end of it when they were
You
playing
wanna talk
Dragon Ball and they were playing like
they were playing all types of stuff
all
on there,
types of
man.
stuff. They were playing Sonic.
Samurai
on there.
Jack was on. Samurai Jack was a great show.
I watched Samurai Jack on Cartoon Network.
That was part of Samurai Jack.
So Toonami, but Toonami was its own channel though.
No, Toonami was Cartoon Network at a certain time of the day. There was Toonami. There was Toonami like around I think it was like from like 5 to 7
in the morning.
No, at in the afternoon,
Okay.
and then Toonami would come back on at around like 12, like at midnight. But when it would play at midnight, it would still play anime, but it would play like more uncut anime, like a little bit more graphic and stuff, because they would dumb it down during the day and then have it be a little bit more graphic at night. That's when you really wanted to watch Toonami, was at night.
So for me, what the way that my cartoons were split up is that when I was a child, all day long was Cartoon. So for the channel itself that Cartoon Network was on, channel 72 to be exact.
Yeah, it was Cartoon Network was one of the higher ones. Yeah,
Cartoon Network was 72. Nickelodeon was 41. Come on now. So Cartoon Network was on all day, where they played like Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Ed, and Eddie. You had Dexter's Laboratory. You had like all those Foster's Home. Kids Next Door. All that.
All
and then
being played.
when you got to nighttime, there was Adult Swim. And then Adult Swim played the animes like One Piece and Naruto and Bleach.
Yeah, that's what Toonami turned into, Adult Swim. I remember the final episode of Toonami. I remember it was like a little robot that would host it. He would come on and be like, he would have his little spiel, right? He'd be like in his ship. He'd have his little spiel, and then like he would like, and then like
the final episode.
And then like the final episode, he like, and at this point, the way he looked already changed. They already changed his image. Before he looked a lot like darker and more, I don't want to say menacing, but just more like lifeless in a way. Right?
Okay.
More like robotic.
Yeah.
And
like a machine.
And then by the end of it, he had like a smiley face on him. He had like a face. So you could already as a kid, you didn't really realize, but looking back at it now, you're like, okay. So, and then I remember the last episode, he like said goodbye and everything. Like, oh, this is the last thing. And like flew off into the sunset. Yeah. Like, legit.
Man.
And that was like the last episode of Toonami.
And you felt that when like a tear came down your eye and all that.
And that was the last of Toonami.
Robot.
I think they may still have it. You know how like HBO Max has like
the Cartoon Network shows.
Exactly. I think they still have like a version of Toonami there now, or like brought it back or something.
Yeah,
like that.
probably.
I didn't look into it.
When they have those online services that play those episodes, you can't change the interlude. I can't talk interlude parts of it. That's like when you. I mean, you haven't. But when you go to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender right now, it still plays the old like Nickelodeon transitions and all that.
Okay.
So it's just like a pre-recording of what it was.
Right.
So if it was on Toonami, it's gonna play it like Toonami on Max.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, for giving us one, if not the best anime or best known anime of all time.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's pretty up there. People are, they're trust me. And listen, I by no means am I gonna sit here and argue anybody with on anime and these people that watch these. I'm just saying, Dragon Ball Z for me growing up was like staple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm in front of that TV. I'm catching. I was there. I was there when the first time Goku turned. I was there when Vegeta landed. I was there when Goku turned Super Saiyan for the first time after Frieza just killed Krillin and Piccolo and everything. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I watched all that too. That was part of Kai.
No, I understand, but you didn't watch it.
That was part of Kai, though.
But you didn't watch it the way I watched it.
I had no background, so I'm watching this at like 9.
No,
right?
no, and I'm sure it was dope. 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 But it's just. Even like the way you watched it, like because I think I've seen some episodes of Kai. It looks a lot cleaner, like obviously because the animation is newer and everything like that.
Right. Because old Dragon Ball looks a certain type of way.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z just looked gritty. Like I don't know, man. And then I was there for the Cell saga, Boo saga.
Oh, see, I never got there. I stopped watching at the Cells and like the Droid.
Yeah,
part.
And that's a great saga too.
Yeah,
amazing.
Like when Trunks came back and like warned them about this and that, all that, bro. So yeah, definitely. But on another note, right, since we're getting into some jam-packed shows, we got a jam-packed episode for you guys today.
Yes, we do.
We got, as always, a little NFL to talk with you guys about, a little NBA, and then see how it goes from there. So we got some stuff to talk about. David deserves his flowers today. The NFL plans to discuss an 18-game regular season. You called it.
I did.
You called it. And, when you deserve your flowers, you deserve your flowers.
Thank you.
Me and Petey both looked at you and said, nah, no way. I remember that moment because we looked at you from the other side of the room. I looked at Petey like, yo, who is this guy, bro? 18 games?
Right.
Do you think it's a safe option for NFL players?
Football comes with injuries as it is.
Right.
And making what makes football, what makes sports in general exciting is when there's a lot of parity in sports.
Right.
So you want to see, even though there are some teams that we'd rather see, but okay, perfect example, the last Super Bowl.
Okay.
Nobody wanted that Super Bowl. We all wanted Ravens and the Lions.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Because it's new, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing. When you put 18 games, you're going to give teams a better chance, more of a chance, maybe to get into the playoffs.
Right.
Last wild card spots, things of that nature. So it's going to create more parity. Also, football is a billion-dollar industry.
Right.
So the more games that are played, the more TV money
every franchise makes.
And then so on and so forth. Players will also end up getting paid more too. So I don't really think, I mean, safety-wise, again, football is football, and people are going to get hurt. So,
yeah.
Well,
the reason I ask is because,
the point is to be good enough that you don't have to play all 18 games. That you can sit.
I feel like that's a basketball perspective to have, though.
Maybe, but there were how many teams sat out their starters at the last game of the season?
Well, that's because they didn't know that. They either knew that there was no way they were gonna make the playoffs, or they knew that they had already clinched, so there was no reason.
And that's what I mean.
I understand.
Be good enough so that you don't have to play.
Yeah, I get you.
You understand what I'm saying? If you're on a bad team, you got to play all 18 games just to breathe. Then that's the contract that you signed on that team. So
I gotta say this. I feel like I'm very glad if it does go through. I'm very glad that
we're all gonna love it.
The game count goes back to an even number.
Exactly.
Because then you can have teams at 500.
Mm-hmm.
That was obviously, it was a hard thing for a long time for them to even think about going to 17 back when it was 16, because it would be an odd number. So I feel like now they're returning to that, and I think that that's valuable for what they do in general. You know, how they contribute and how they all add up. Who is eligible? Who's better than what team? Because I'm sure there was, and I'm not gonna point fingers at nobody, but there was probably teams that were 7-9 that were better than teams that were 9-7 just because of luck of the draw. That's how the sport goes.
That's how the sport goes.
So that will kind of even out that playing field a little bit. As someone who has had 4 concussions in life, that was why I asked you about the safety of the players, because it's never gonna not be a violent sport.
Exactly.
Of course. And refs and the gameplay itself has been tightened as far as how loosely or tightly referees call certain flags for different things
100%.
to keep the safety of the player in check.
Yep.
But an extra game is just extra risk, and that's why I asked. Because the truth is that, let's say you went through week 1 through 17 healthy as a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Week 18, you get hurt. Now you're like, oh, if they didn't have this extra game, then I wouldn't.
So what excuse do you make when you get hurt in the preseason?
Yeah,
What excuse do you hurt when you get hurt 4 plays into the first game of the season?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
It can happen at any time.
Exactly. So if you're and I can't say that I'm thinking for a player because I've never been an NFL player. I've never had, that type of money in front of me, or whatever the case may be. However, I did play sports, so I can imagine, right? So listen, they're never gonna play. They'll never get to like 20 games. You know what I mean? But yeah. I think there's enough risk management that the NFL tries to employ that'll keep players necessarily just as safe. I don't necessarily that. Yes, it's one more game, and I guess the percentage wise, if we're looking at like percentage of numbers and stuff like that, I'm sure it increases a little bit.
Right.
But I don't think that it increases to the point where players themselves and or owners would, not want something like this to happen, because again, more games, more money.
So let me ask you this. I haven't looked into the details of it. Does that mean that the season's gonna start a week earlier, or the Super Bowl is gonna be a week later?
I'm not sure. I'm sure that all has to do with whatever TV. First of all, they gotta approve it.
Yeah.
Second of all, that's gonna depend on like their TV deal and all that good stuff like that.
Right.
Now, if they were smart, it would make the Super Bowl start a week later and then land by President's Day, because a lot of people have off President's Day. And then I believe that I believe that the Monday after Super Bowl, and this is a fact, I'm almost positive that Monday is like the most called out day.
I believe it.
Of the year. I've
never heard that before, but I 100% believe it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because you're sitting at home all day getting lit, or eating a lot of food, screaming, yelling, cheering. You're tired. It's late at night. You stayed up to watch the halftime show and this and that. Now your friends are around, and I agree. I don't. That makes so much sense. So instead of getting people to call out, you do it on a holiday where they might already have off.
And what that would do is that would ultimately increase their ratings, because now, if I don't have work tomorrow, I might just go to that Super Bowl party. I might just throw on the Super Bowl if I didn't originally watch it before or whatever. I might be more inclined, maybe I'm not super into football, but I don't got work tomorrow.
Yeah, what do I got to worry about? I'm not gonna make it. Whatever. I mean, that's true. I never thought about it like that. This is facts. This is facts. Now, you spoke a little bit earlier about how they're never gonna play 20 games.
Yeah, I don't.
Speaking of someone that's never gonna play, Russell Wilson was released by the Denver Broncos.
We saw that coming, though. Oh, I know I did.
Listen, $85 million dead cap hit in Denver.
Guaranteed, which is why the beauty of it is that now whatever team he goes to can sign him to like that you know, like that minimum type deal because he's still getting paid from the Broncos.
Yep. And he,
I only gotta give you like, listen, Russ, I got $5 million for you, and he would be okay with that.
That means he can go to a team that's already paying a lot of money towards their skilled players.
Come on now.
So, it's the biggest cap hit in history.
Yeah.
Larger than the last two records combined. Did you see this statistic?
No, I did not.
Okay. First place, Russell Wilson. Dead cap hit, $85 million. You think you can get... You don't have to guess what team, but can you guess the two players?
Deshaun Watson.
No, it's not Deshaun Watson. I'll give you two more guesses. There's two players. I'll put it to you like this.
Dead cap hit?
One dead cap hit was 2023. One dead cap hit was 2022. So they were both before last season.
I don't know. I can't even. I have names, but like I don't know. Andrew Luck?
Nah, it's
No.
a good guess though. So look, hear me out. Ready? Number 2, 2022, Matt Ryan
Ooh, you know what?
for $40.5 million dead cap hit.
And why do I feel like I know who the third one is?
Who do you think the third one is?
Phillip Rivers?
No, good guess though.
Damn.
Good guess. Third, you're gonna like this one. 2023, Aaron Rodgers.
Ah, yes.
At $40.3 million. So Matt
My
Ryan
boy.
and Aaron Rodgers together was at $80.7 million. Russell was at 85.
So now, so that's the record, right? That's the biggest.
That's the biggest
dead cap hit in NFL history.
Yeah.
Now, could this also go down as maybe the worst trade
Absolutely.
in NFL history?
Absolutely. Without a doubt in my
For
mind.
what they had to give up,
Yeah.
for how
Not
it
to say that
turned
Drew
out.
Lock is Jesus Christ either.
I'm talking about the draft picks.
But the draft picks was a lot.
and we all know how the NFL covets a draft pick.
Yeah. They swear by those draft picks. So I don't know, man. It's hard. It's really I'm gonna say yeah, bro. I'm gonna say
I can't think of a trade in recent history. You know what trade
He
was?
didn't play bad.
I could
last
tell you.
season.
The Seahawks made a bad trade when they went and got Jamal Adams, but that was fine because they could take that. That
They
was
dropped
bad.
him. That's
That
someone
was
else
bad
they
for them.
released.
Yeah, that was bad for them. Good for us, but I mean,
Right.
there's always somebody at the end of the stick, right?
Yeah.
So
I
You
like
like that
Jamal Adams though.
I like them too, but I like the draft picks better.
He started folding when he was in Seattle. To be honest,
I like the
with
draft picks better, but Jamal Adams was a cool personality and stuff like that. Gave you energy, but like safety wise,
you. The
though,
president.
like safety wise though, like realistically, like he was good against the run,
Yeah.
and that was it. Like
Not good in coverage.
nah, at all.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember that because they used to always put him at free safety and let him rush the gap as
that's
hard as
it.
they wanted to, and he was hitting them though.
Yeah. No, that's what he was really.
He always hit hard.
That's what he was good
I'm
at.
not gonna lie to you. I always respected players that were really swaggy, just in general. So Jamal Adams.
I met Jamal too, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Did you?
before.
You met him?
I met him a couple times. I don't know. He probably don't remember me anymore, but at the time, I was seeing him frequently enough. Like he actually like.
Knew who you were?
Yeah. It was like I mean, like he was
What's
always
up, David?
Yeah, right.
Like that?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you just off the top of your head. Who's the richest person you've ever met?
The richest person I've ever met.
Off top.
CC Sabathia.
CC
Sabathia got a whole lot of money.
Whole lot of money.
I think CC Sabathia, because I met a good amount of athletes. I met a couple of like, I guess celebrities more so on the music side.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't say Stern. You think Stern is more paid than them? No.
Commissioners don't make the time. Commissioners like the president.
Right.
The president don't make all that much money. It's
But
the
president prints the money though.
Yeah, but it's like the endorsements and going out like so.
Right,
So the commissioners like every owner has more money
Yeah.
than the commissioner does. Most players have more money than the commissioner does.
Right.
So yeah, I would still put CC Sabathia. I think CC Sabathia worth like $100 million or some crazy. Like he got paid a lot of money while he was a Yankee.
So let me tell you an interesting story, right?
Yeah.
So when I was 18, 19-ish, I worked for the New York Red Bulls in Harrison. Shout out to New York Red Bulls. And at the time, I was part of their event operations team. So what that means is,
I know what event operations team means.
Yeah, but it wasn't
for the people though.
For the people though, exactly. So like whenever they would have an event, you know, like anywhere in New York or anywhere, I would go and build the event, run it, pack it back up, keep it moving, right? Yeah. So one day they have a meet and greet with the players on the team. You probably don't know this guy. I'm not a big soccer head myself. There was a kid. He was my age at the time. He's still my age. Obviously, it's how aging works. But his name is Tyler Adams.
Whole government.
Well, that's his name. He's a professional soccer player. He played in the MLS. He was my age, and they brought him to a meet and greet, right? Because so we went to Rider University. Never forget. Okay. And they brought him there thinking that there was gonna be a lot of soccer fans there that day, and it was a desert out there. Like he was just sitting in this booth, and he was just like bored out of his mind. So I remember I'm looking, and I'm just like a guy on the event ops team. I wasn't like important or nothing. So I'm looking at, I look at my boy Jose. I looked at Jose, and I was like, "Yo, he looks miserable over there." Like, oh well, I'd be miserable too, but hey, he's rich. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go say hi. So I walk up, you know, and Tyler Adams at the time, you know, he turned the voice on. Hey, what's going on? I'm Tyler Adams, play for the New York Red Bulls. So I stopped him at the door. I was like, listen, bro, I know you're my age. You must be bored out of your mind, right? So as soon as I said it like that, he cut it off. He goes, yeah, bro, super bored. And then he was like, I said to him, do you have to stay in this meet and greet box? He was like, nah, let's go on a walk. So me and him go on Rider University, like on the track, just walking and talking as if we're boys, bro. Just strolling, right? And my friend Jose, the people that worked with me are because they're big soccer fans. Yeah. Like I worked there because it was a job, but like a lot of people worked at Red Bull Arena because they love soccer, right? So they're looking at me with their jaw dropped, like he's with Tyler Adams right now. And then I walk up and he's like, yo, you mind if I invite my friend Chris? I said, yeah, sure. He calls another guy over with a Red Bull jersey on. His name was Chris Long. He was also a defender for the Red Bulls. So it's us three just chilling, walking around the track like it's nothing. We did a lap, and then they said, oh, Tyler, we need you for da-da-da. He's like, all right, bro, so I'll see you later. Daps me up. And at the time, he was 18, but he was like a prospect. Like, he was already signed to Red Bull Arena, to the New York Red Bulls, I think for like $3 million.
Nice.
So I get back to the people I work with, and they're like, do you know what you just did? And I was like, I talked to a kid that was my age. You know, he dapped me up. He showed me his boy. He's like, yo, that was Tyler. And then right after that season, he gets signed to Bundesliga, which I don't know if you know what that is.
I know you.
And then he ended up winning the chip the next year with Bundesliga for Red Bull Arena too. So, and I tell everybody that's. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't meet him like shake his hand, but I met Ronaldo. I ever told you that?
Oh no.
I met Ronaldo one time, but I didn't walk around the lap. So that's like the most I got to be with someone that was worth X amount of money.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
So it's not a soccer podcast either. You know, just going down memory lane of different sports memorabilia. But speaking of going down memory lane, this is something else that's interesting. I don't know if you saw this on Instagram.
Oh boy, is segueing his
I'm trying. PD's not here. Someone has to carry the reins. You feel me? So look, Nick Saban claims that NILs have potentially ruined the sport of college football and potentially pushed him to retire. Did you hear about this?
I'm happy you brought this up, man.
Look, so I have the quote exactly what he said written down. He goes, when you talk to a college football player right now, all they want to know is two things. What assurances do I have that I'm going to play? And how much are you going to pay me? So Nick Saban says to himself, maybe this doesn't work anymore. That the goals and aspirations are just different. And that it's all about how much money I can make as a college player instead of making it to the pro level. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's never been what we're about, and it's not why we had success throughout the years. That was Bleacher Report on March 6th.
Can I go?
Please.
Nick Saban is full of crap, and I'm saying that, and I'm saying that nicely.
Oh my God!
If you think that Alabama, the Crimson Tide,
right,
Roll
Tide.
If you think that they weren't offering these kids money to come play at their school, if you think that they wasn't doing that, you're delusional. If you don't think that all of these schools, all of these top-ranked schools aren't offering it, the problem is that now it's legal.
Yep.
And now anybody can offer. Oh, you know what I mean? Anybody can do that. So you're not as exclusive anymore. Where you could only get 20,000 if you went to, I don't know, let's say TCU or something, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But Alabama, yeah, you know, you could start at whatever at TCU, but you only get like 20 bands.
Right.
But let's say at Alabama, you may not start.
They pay you an arm and a leg to be there.
Yeah,
though.
They may not start, but we'll give you like 50,000.
Yeah, just to wear the number that you like and sit on the side in case we need you.
Yeah, okay, I'll go do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then if anything, but now it's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that now. Now I want to play, and I can go play, and this guy's going to give me however much, you know what I mean? Like, because who knows what, some of these deals are crazy.
Some of them are crazy, and like, some of them will never go play pro, so.
Exactly. So
those are questions you got to know.
And outside of that, the amount of money that college sports makes off of these college athletes is insane.
Yeah.
It is astronomical. For anybody who doesn't know, it is $1 billion. Like, these colleges make billions of dollars off these TV deals, off these kids, off these non-professional athletes.
Children.
They're making billions of dollars on them.
Yep.
So I don't want to. So don't give me, oh, it's making it harder. No. Get a better program, bro.
Well, he had arguably the best program in history.
But we know why. But we know good reasons why.
You're basically saying that he can't deny that, like, the money was contributing to his success the whole time.
Listen, so you're gonna tell me I get to play for a historic franchise? You're gonna pay me a good amount of money, and I get to play behind Nick Saban. All of those things were something, but now,
and they'll pay me.
But now it's not as prestigious. Yes, you're still Nick Saban, but all right. Well, there are these other schools that are in the Big Ten or Pac-12 or SEC, or you know what I'm saying, that are pretty comparable to you, and they're paying me more money.
Yo, if you throw out another SAT word, I swear to God, I'm gonna throw my laptop across the room. You said astronomical, and what was the other one you just said?
Comparable?
No. The way you said it just sounded more prestigious. You didn't say comparable. You said comparable.
I did say comparable.
Come on now. Jaguars. It's all in the same category. Now, speaking of an arm and a leg, I'm trying. Ready? Look, you're going to like this one.
You're doing.
You're going to like this one. You're going to like this one. Ready? Several fans from the Chiefs to Dolphins game that was -4 degrees.
I already know what you're going to say.
Were advised to have amputations. Come on, bro. They're playing checkers. I'm playing chess.
Sell them.
Yo,
That was good.
Amputations?
Yeah.
To watch a playoff game that's not the Super Bowl?
First of all, yeah. I mean, well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You don't have to go watch the game.
That's true.
So that's all I really got to say. It sucks, but you really wanted to be at that football game.
Of course.
Because I'm going to tell you right now.
More than your fingers.
Right. I can tell you right now. I love football. I'm sure that watching a playoff game, Chiefs, and oh my God, that's a great game to watch.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill, Pat Mahomes.
It's negative something. It's -3 degrees with a -27-degree wind chill.
Yeah.
I'm in the crib, bro. What are you talking about? There's not a jacket that I own there's not a jacket that I own nor that I'm willing to even try to buy.
Of gloves.
Nothing. None of that.
Not a scarf.
None of that. Not heat warmers in my pants. None of that. None of that.
I agree, man.
None of that, dude.
Well, look, we all know that there's some crazy fans out there, right?
Yeah.
We all know that. They're not going to go anywhere with that. That's why you call them a fan, because they are fanatic about the sport, right?
Oh, hey.
It's true. That's where the word fan comes
100%.
from. So some fans are going to argue with you ridiculously that my pinky was worth witnessing the greatness of Patrick Mahomes on his playoff run, on his first playoff game home.
All right, so and you gave it up. There you go.
Right.
And now you don't have a pinky.
Now you don't have a pinky.
Now you can't. Now you can't pick up things correctly.
You know, what is it that's the most important finger? I think it's your thumb, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, because
it's hard to do things without thumbs.
Isn't that what they say?
It's got to be hard to do things without your pinky too, because your pinky's like that extra like clamps. Like pick up that cup right now. Pick up that cup.
And try not to use my pinky.
Pick up that cup right now without using your pinky.
I mean, people put like their pinky up for stuff though.
Yeah, but it's weird
when
though.
you're being fancy. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, tea and scones and all that.
Well, you can't be fancy with a nub.
But all right, now try and pick it up without your thumb.
It's impossible.
Exactly. They say that's what separates us from animals. Is our
unless I go like this, and I use.
Oh, see, but all right. Well, no one can see exactly what it is you did, but you cradled the top of the cup with your middle finger and your ring finger.
Mm-hmm. I got big hands too, so.
Well, I mean, look. Imagine if you had little hands.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Imagine if it was like you know, only up to your knuckle.
So you're telling me that you all right?
I'm
so
not losing a finger for nobody, is what I'm saying. But I also agree that there are some people. Oh man, you know, that's a terrible time. But you know what? Do you mind if I pick up a call really quickly?
Hey man, do what we gotta do.
It's for the show.
Yeah,
it's
do what we
for the
gotta
show.
do. Inside information,
Inside
right?
information. Hello?
Yeah, I'm outside.
Oh, you're here.
I said around 12 o'clock.
That's true. All right, well, you're on the show right now. You want to say anything to the fans?
Yeah, let me this is what works before I gotta go pick up my grandma.
All right, well, all right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. This guy thinks I'm worried about his grandma. You want to pause it really quick?
Yeah. We'll pause it for the people. We'll come back. And we're back.
Yeah. Welcome back, you know.
A little intermission that we had.
Little intermission. He was it seemed like he was worried about his grandma, but he got out here in enough time to go and help grandma, I guess.
Go and help Nana.
Go and help Grant. That's what he called her, Nonna. He's on his Italian stuff.
Okay.
So
all right.
we're right back, man. But on that note, right? It's kind of funny how stuff works, you know. Sometimes things just work in our favor for no reason. Because
100%.
now he was our transition, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Gary, shout out Gary, he just built my desk. He's a big soccer fan.
Okay.
As we spoke about how he was watching the Liverpool game that's going on right now. Today's March 10th, so he's watching the Liverpool Man City game, I believe.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So this last week, you have Joe Mazzulla, head of the Boston Celtics, say that he draws great influence from the manager of Man City. Did you hear about this?
No, I did not.
You didn't. Okay, this is for you, Mr. Keeping Score. Here we go. He studies Pep Guardiola, which is the name of the manager for Man City. Joe Mazzulla was quoted saying, "I study City a lot. I study Pep a lot. I think he is the best coach at any level in any sport right now. He has a great influence on me." He continues to say, "I don't really see that much of a difference between soccer and basketball." Do you think that there's... I mean, I see the similarities. What do you think?
I mean, one uses your hands, the other uses your feet.
Yeah, but I think more so...
One's indoors, one's outdoors.
Yeah, but I don't think he means like where and the how. I think he means more like
The influence
the
of it?
structure of how you score.
Oh, okay.
You know, you pass in between multiple players. If you're on the offensive side, it's probably like in between 3 to 5 players to get someone to score. There's a net.
Well, listen, but basketball players have been known to pick up soccer to help with their footwork. right?
Okay.
So it helps with their footwork on because obviously you have to be like, so that helps with
Yeah, quick on your feet.
exactly lateral movement and all that good stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I can see the similarities. I don't watch a whole lot of soccer. I've watched some.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near as exciting for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like there's a whole lot of back and forth for not all that much scoring.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's not as much scoring, which is a huge contrast.
So it's like it's a very methodical game, however fast-paced it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, sure, Missoula. I don't know.
Hey, does
Pep win anything? Because have you been studying that? Have you been studying?
I mean,
win?
Man City's a pretty historical franchise.
Yeah?
It's like the Yankees of soccer.
That's cool.
At least the Premier League.
Well, Missoula hasn't won anything yet, so.
But the Celtics, you can't deny the Celtics and how great they are right now.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Why?
If you want to talk about it, we can.
Should we save it for keeping score?
We can talk about it whenever you want to, man. I'm just letting you know that the Celtics, they're gonna have to prove something to me because the Celtics like to blow out these Eastern teams, and we all know that the East is weaker than the West. But when
they blew out the Warriors, though.
The Warriors?
That's not an Eastern team.
Yeah, but that's the team. Yeah, but then you give me one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. Why don't you talk about the Timberwolves? Why don't you talk about the Nuggets? Why don't you talk about you know what I'm saying? Like the Thunder. Like these are like the Clippers. Like,
yeah. The teams in the West.
When they played against the Nuggets. Jason Tatum had 16 points. You're supposed to be the MVP. You're supposed to be carrying this team, and the defending champs went in there and got a win on you.
Well, I think the Nuggets are a whole different category in themselves, though.
Well, I called it before. I didn't say it here. Nuggets. You guys can write this down.
This is your finals prediction?
Nuggets, Celtics.
Huh?
Nuggets, 6.
Nuggets, Celtics, Nuggets in 6.
That's what I said.
Interesting. What makes you think that so early? So the Celtics are the team to beat in the East.
I think the Celtics right now are the team to beat in the East mainly because they're the healthiest and they have the most talent, right? So
I mean, what else do you want?
Well, no, that's what
the
you
best
need.
coaching, the best playbook, and stuff like that.
Which I don't think they have, but I do think they have the most talent. And I think they're the healthiest right now.
All right.
If Philly was completely healthy, that might be a different story because you wouldn't be able to stop that guy Joel. The Heat, I don't see giving anybody a problem. The Knicks are dealing with a whole bunch of injuries. There's just not the Bucks can't seem to. Oh, shout out to my boys, LA beat the Bucks the other night without LeBrono.
There you go. Shout out Lake Show.
Without Big Brono.
Big Laker fan.
D'Lo, 44 points, I believe, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. Had like 7 threes or something wild like that.
He's going crazy right now.
He's going crazy, man.
Crazy. Comeback player of the year?
I don't know if he'd be eligible for that. I don't know.
Why not though? Why not though? He fell off for a little bit.
I don't know if his season was that bad last year to give him the award this year.
But he's definitely doing way better this year, though.
He's definitely playing with a different type of. He's playing like the D'Lo that I've always imagined D'Lo being. Now his defense is still a little shoddy,
right?
But he's playing like the D'Lo that I've always imagined. That shifty, can shoot out the three, talk a little bit, ice in his veins. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do anything on the basketball court offensively, great off the pick and roll. But anyway, I digress.
So
Nuggets 6,
Celtics.
I just feel like there's no team that can really beat the Nuggets in a 7-game series. They have arguably the best player in the world right now, Nikola Jokic, and they have continuity. And they have experience. They just won.
Okay.
So they know how to. So
I like that. I like how you said that. I like how that was put together. That's very interesting. Now, I want to talk way more about the Lakers, to be honest with you. I've been watching those little games you highlighted.
Okay.
They've been highlighted in my brain.
All right.
We could talk about them once you get to keeping score. But we have an agenda.
We do have an agenda.
For what we're going to talk about real quick in NFL.
Yeah.
as far as arguably, because other people are going to say other things as always, arguably the top 10 available. I'm not going to lie to you, that's just my plumbing.
Got it.
I'm going to be, look, for anyone that can hear that little Scooby-Doo where are you noise in the background that sounds like something's haunting the microphone, that's just my plumbing. It went away.
Oh, okay. All right, it happens.
I mean, look, we've been doing this
Listen,
show. We've been doing this show, what, since November?
I believe so.
Okay. I've never told you. I think my basement is haunted. But that is a whole different story. That is real information.
Really?
I'm not lying to you. But are you scared of ghosts?
No.
Well, then there's nothing for you to worry about, right?
I ain't scared of no ghosts.
So, before we get into that, I want to talk to you about PFF.com dropped a top 10 available wide receivers list in the free agent market. And I would love, you know what? I'm going to give you an option, right? We went to CBS Sports for the running backs and the quarterbacks top 10 list. We can also hit CBS Sports for the wide receiver list. You want to stay consistent or you want to switch it up? How you feeling?
I like to see other people's opinions. What is this
PFF? All right, I'm gonna hit it to you just like that. We'll go 10-1 like the way that we've been doing it, right? Number 10 on the list as eligible as a free agent this year, go somewhere else, can get re-signed by. This is only players that haven't been given a new deal as of now, right? Because
or franchise tag,
whatever. As you know, the market has been open for a couple of days, and there's been moves happening.
There has been.
And we'll get into that as we get into the positions that we are willing to talk about. But it seems like the wide receiver market is pretty wide open. The big wide receiver that is no longer on this list that I was ready to talk about today is Mike Evans.
Yeah, he just signed it.
He just signed it, you know. And to double up on what we talked about in quarterback day, he said without a doubt that Baker Mayfield's coming back. Yeah. So, you know, it looks like Tampa Bay's in a good place. But for these players that aren't in a good place right now, let's get into it then. This is the top 10 free agent wide receivers as of now, according to PFF.com. Number 10, Michael Thomas. An interesting one. It's one of those players that because of his peak, you can't really count him out. I put him in the same category as where people put DeAndre Hopkins, as where people put Julio. And as you know, Julio is my top 5. So
we know.
Michael Thomas is a player that when he was great with Drew Brees, he was great. Yep. But injuries have always really held him at a certain degree. And now with the quarterback situation being kind of iffy in New Orleans.
Have you heard what he said lately? Recently?
No, please tell me.
So he said something recently. It's funny that you actually brought up Michael Thomas. That he basically hinting at some type of a comeback year for us to keep our eyes open for Michael Thomas. Now,
how interesting. He says this the year he's a free agent.
I'm only gonna keep one eye open.
I'm gonna wink at him.
I'm gonna wink because I'm almost positive that I've heard this guy say this before.
Right.
In some type of capacity.
Right.
So to me, man, dude, stay healthy. You were a good wide receiver, you know. When you were healthy, when you were playing with arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Right.
But
because anybody could look good with arguably one of them.
Yeah, listen, there's going to be a team out there that could use a number 2. The way I look at it, Michael Thomas needs to go to a team where he's not, I don't want to say not being featured, but clearly he's not the main guy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say situational either, but you want to go to a place where the attention isn't so much on him, so that they may be able to rest him some plays and may be able to keep him healthier throughout the season. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because he does have great hands.
It's true.
You couldn't throw anything towards that man. He wasn't catching it. So I do remember that. Good size, decent speed, you know what I'm saying? Pretty decent route runner. So he's a good receiver when healthy.
Yeah.
It's just, can you stay healthy? And I think his best destination is somewhere where he may be like wide receiver 3 type thing. You know what I mean? Like 2A, 2B maybe, if you want to say it like that.
Now let me ask you this: do you think he needs a star quarterback?
I think he does. One, I think he probably wants one at this point in his career.
Right.
Right? Because if he's probably chasing anything, I'm sure he's chasing more accolades in a ring. You're not going to get that with a rookie or a non-proven quarterback throwing you the ball.
Let me throw an estimation at you though. Little guess who I think where he's gonna land.
Okay.
If you need him to be somewhere he's not the wide receiver 1, given where the contracts are right now, you don't know who's gonna get out of their contract. I always thought that Russell may end up a Raider.
Wilson, you're talking about.
Russell Wilson, correct.
Yeah, he's going to be a Steeler, but okay.
That's what people are talking about, though. He went to go meet this, stamp it right here, right now.
You want another one, guys?
But,
you want another one?
But people are talking about how they could potentially have to trade away Deontay Johnson for that.
Why would they have to do that? He's a free agent. Anybody can sign him. They don't have to give up anything but money for Russell.
But it looks like Deontay Johnson isn't as interested in staying in Pittsburgh as some may contemplate. So it might be like a, you know, like I pick up this guy, pay this guy, and then I trade out the other guy for somewhere else. Not in this. You get what I'm saying? Like,
nah, I hear you. I mean,
the reason I said the Raiders is because if it stands how it is and they do get a quarterback because they need one, O'Connell's not the answer, then if Devontae Adams is still there, which he may not be, but if he is, he's not the wide receiver number 1, and he has similar accolades as Devontae Adams as far as like as regardless of injury, like his speed. You know, his height, he's 6'3", you know, a taller receiver, someone that can go for the Hail Mary maybe.
That might be a good little, but again, who's going to throw him the ball? So
yeah, if they can figure out who's going to throw him the ball.
And the beauty of being a free agent is you get to decide where you go. So
that's going to be an interesting one. Definitely interesting on that one. Number 9 on this list, DJ Shark Jr. Now, I'm just going to put his numbers up because I don't know off the top of my head. I believe he was healthy all year, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, at healthy all year, he had 62 targets, 35 catches, 525 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. Now, he's on the Lions. They know who their go-to receivers are right now.
100%.
They got Amon-Ra St. Brown at tight end. They got...
No, he's a wide receiver. Tight end, they have Laporta.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was ahead of myself. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown at receiver. Then you got Sam Laporta at tight end. And it looks like they really like Reynolds.
Yeah, it looks like
Josh Reynolds.
Well, that's Goff's boy. He came with him, so he's got trust.
Exactly. So the chemistry's already kind of built there. It doesn't
need DJ.
Exactly. So if there's anyone on this list that they're most likely not going to be back on the team that they were looking for, it looks like it's going to be him. Now, I know in the past, if I'm not mistaken, he was a Jaguar.
Yes.
He was a Jaguar.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know. I want you to guess, right? Because that's one thing that everyone's always loved about DJ Shark. He's fast.
Yeah.
Very good speed receiver. What do you think his 40 was? If you were to guess right now.
Was it faster than Cat Williams?
Yes. Yo, Cat Williams was running his little ass off in that video.
Gone, wasn't he?
Yo, I think, he
4.97?
4.97 at 50-something years old.
Out of here,
That's
bro.
nuts, dude.
Out of here.
He's also like 95 pounds soaking wet, and half of it is the hair he grew out.
Right. But still. So if I had to guess his 40.
If Cat Williams is running a 4.97, what is DJ Shark running? At 6'4", 200 pounds.
6'4", 200. Give me a. You're making it the way you're presenting it. It's almost like he's fat. Like it should be a little less than probably what I think. So I'm gonna say like a 4.36.
4.34.
Wow.
Oh my God, that was pretty good, bro. That was okay. Okay, that's why they call you the parlay king, I guess.
Yeah,
He
man.
needs to go to a team that is built on some speed.
Which would be?
You know, the first team that comes to my mind when I talk about speed is Miami, of course, right? And I think that's not a good place for him because they have their big two. I think a team that could really use him because they don't have a receiver of that nature. That's a hard one.
How would he look over there in Atlanta?
They have their go-to guy in Drake London though.
We're not looking for DJ Chark to be the go-to guy, are we?
I guess he'd be. I guess
looking at him as a wide receiver one, are we?
Nah, I agree. I don't think you could. I don't know. I think that he needs a quarterback to really take him out of his shell. That's why I think that's a good team for him. To be honest with you, it's if they can land a good quarterback.
Well, I'm just looking at the other skill players that are around them.
Right.
So if you put a guy that has that type of speed, right? You put him with a Drake London, Bijan Robinson, right?
Yeah.
So you put a guy with that type of speed, and let's say they go out and get Justin Fields.
That'd be pretty interesting.
That's a team.
They just signed Zach Ertz. Did you see that? The Commanders. So it looks like they're trying to build something kind of interesting over there. And, not for nothing, it looks like Washington is building a lot around their offense. They had the 32nd worst ranked defense in the NFL last year. So it looks like they're going to really have to rely on putting real pieces around this offense to keep their team afloat. Because Lord knows you can't build a defense overnight.
Definitely can't.
I like that one. I like him on the Commanders as well. I want to say, you got me thinking. You see the gears trying to turn in my brain right now, right? I know that the other team that came to my mind was the Bengals, but they just gave this guy a franchise tag.
They did.
So that's I think they'd be better off. I honestly think T. Higgins is overrated. And that's why there's a big 3 players that were supposed to be on this list that got franchise tagged or otherwise signed that made this receiver list a whole lot more boring, which is why we got to it this week.
Right.
Those 3 being T. Higgins,
Yep.
franchise tag, Mike Evans, re-signed, and Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah.
Because Michael Pittman Jr. was a monster last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the first franchise tag that the Colts have used since like 2014 or something like that.
Hey now.
Wild number, but I honestly hope you get a lot of upside from DJ Shark, but I'm not expecting anything crazy. If for any reason they want to build on something new, he is how old? Let's see. He was drafted in 2018. He can't be.
Gotta be like 25.
You're born in 96. He's 27.
Like that.
Okay. So, with that being... No. Well, this year he'll be 28. So, with that being said, I feel like I could also see him a Charger. They're kind of getting to the end of their era with their best receiver.
Well, Palmer's out of there, no?
Palmer's out of there. Keenan Mitchell's getting a little older. Maybe they need someone that can really go run out with those fast out routes for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's on his last legs.
Yeah, for sure.
Over there.
I see what you did. Little speed, last legs. Okay. There's something going on here today.
Yeah,
Now, we got to get to number 8 on this list. Number 8 being Kendrick Bourne. New England Patriots.
Yeah, it
Doesn't really ring another bell for me either.
Yeah, it doesn't really move any needles.
I'm telling you, this top 10 is a week 10.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you.
Let's go to 7.
You're not even concerned? Oh man.
For Kendrick Bourne.
All right.
Go wherever you want, bro.
Let's do this. Number 7, Curtis Samuel. Now, with a quarterback situation that was rocky in Washington, he was their go-to guy.
Who's the best Curtis you know in football?
The best Curtis I know, like active?
No, just the best Curtis.
Curtis Martin.
That's it. That's
Curtis
all.
Martin.
That's
Come
it.
on, bro. Without a doubt.
First of all, that's the only other Curtis I know.
Yeah, what the hell?
He was the best.
Friends call him Kurt.
I used to love Curtis Martin.
Yeah, he's a dog, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man. But Curtis Samuel, look, 85 targets last year, 62 receptions, more accurate than receivers that we haven't spoken about. 613 receiving yards, only 4 touchdowns though.
Yeah. Maybe
I think he would blossom on another team though.
a lot of times people just need, different change of scenery, right? And that'll bring out, whatever new offensive coordinator, put you in new schemes and things like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I can already tell all the receivers that are going to be on this list. I'm listening to it blind, by the way. He has a list in front of me. I don't have it in front of me.
That's what makes it interesting.
But I already think, I can already sense that, that was number 7.
That was number 7.
All these receivers are gonna be second tier. If you were a first tier wide receiver, what happened? We just said it.
You already got the franchise tag, or yeah.
So all these guys are to complement,
what's already there.
Correct. Unless maybe you are the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs need somebody.
So I guess,
and we say that like they didn't just win the Super Bowl, but
right.
yeah, they need somebody.
But they're gonna need to bolster that. The Chiefs are funny to me with something like this, because I feel like Patrick Mahomes is so good that it's just give me somebody.
Yeah.
That's not Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You know what I'm saying?
I saw this hilarious post recently, and it was like top 5 players in the NFL that'll be working at McDonald's next year.
He has to.
Oh my God, yo! I want you to keep talking, but I'm gonna find this.
You're fine. But that's so.
I found it.
Oh, here it goes.
Okay. Most likely to be flipping burgers next year. Power rankings.
This is a better list, guys.
Number one, Kadarius Toney.
Duh.
I want you to look at this picture really quick. It's him wearing the ski for the football helmet, but it has the McDonald's logo on it.
Oh man, you know who should be on that list? I've got honorary mention for that list.
All right, here we go. I want to hear your honorary mention. Ready? Number 2, Chase Claypool.
Mm-hmm.
There was that stat that said how many touchdowns are scored when Chase Claypool's in the starting offense, and when he's not, it's higher when he's not. So that's just awkward in itself. Number 3, no surprise to anybody, Zach Wilson. Even though he probably made first All-Mormon, I don't think this is the league for him. They already said that he was open to trade talks, but
UFL starting.
Yeah, that's right. As long as he's not a battle hawk, I'm fine. As long as he's
what was my team? The Brahmas.
The Brahmas.
That's what I'm going for. The Rocks team, the Brahmas.
There you go. I'm glad you picked your team. I'm glad you followed up with that.
Come on now.
Good man. Brian Johnson. I don't even know who that is. You know who that is? That's why he's number 4. Number 5, Desmond Ridder.
Yeah.
I can see that one too.
Mm-hmm.
What are your honorable mentions? I'm curious.
Honorable mention, Tony Pollard.
That's interesting because he was really high up on the free agent running back list.
Yeah, well.
So it's kind of like, hey, he's
team.
Either one of the best running backs in the league, or hey, how are you? Can I take your order?
Nobody's calling Tony Pollard to come visit the facility and everything. They're gonna wait till the last possible. That's gonna be one of those pickups. Am I saying another? Because I got some takes.
Right.
That's gonna be one of those off the couch. Somebody got hurt.
Right.
Somebody's gonna have to get hurt for Tony Pollard to get a job.
He's gonna follow the same footsteps as Zeke.
Somebody's gonna have to get hurt for Tony Pollard to get a job. Mark my words.
I can't wait until the episode where he does get signed somewhere and we have to talk about it.
He's not.
And it's just gonna be turmoil.
He'll get signed when somebody gets hurt.
Right. Okay. I like that. Well, speaking of somebody that gets hurt.
And then he's gonna put the fry cooker down. He's gonna rip off his apron.
He's gonna be out there with SpongeBob and them.
You never seen Half Baked?
No.
Oh man,
It's a movie.
Yeah, hilarious scene. Dave Chappelle stars in the movie. It's a hilarious scene with these other comics and stuff. And the dude quits. He's working at the burger spot.
Yeah.
And he quits and he's like, F you, F you, F you. You're cool. an F you, and then throws a burger at the manager. Like right in his face.
Oh, that's funny, bro. I
That's
gotta
what
watch
Tony
that.
Pollard's gonna do.
Yeah, I gotta
Great movie.
I gotta get caught up in my movie culture.
Great movie.
I'm out here watching Ben 10 instead.
Yeah.
But on that note, talking about someone that always gets hurt. Number, what are we at? 5 on this list?
No, we're at 6.
We're at 6. Tyler Boyd.
Okay, I like Tyler Boyd.
Now, I think, in my opinion, I might be wrong, and obviously the Bengals agree otherwise, that I always kind of put Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins like in the same category.
Dude, stop. Why are you disrespecting T. Higgins?
Yeah, I know. I've never been a fan. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's some people that you just like a little more than others, and it's nothing. T. Higgins gets hurt.
Okay.
That's T. Higgins' problem. It's not his skill. It's his, what is it? The best ability is availability. That's what people say, right? So that's facts. I feel like Tyler Boyd, he definitely was the number 3.
So T. Higgins is AJ Green.
Yes.
AJ Green.
Same
type of
but
same type of upside.
Yeah, that's a whole different caliber of wide receiver core that they had at that time, though. Like AJ Green was behind what? Larry Fitz?
Joe Burrow stays hurt.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean that Joe Burrow is less of a quarterback than some of these guys now?
This is the first. I mean, it's not, right? Because
it's
not the first time in the NFL even that he got hurt, right? So
for an extended period of time. So
I'll tell you this: Joe Burrow has to prove something this season.
You're right, but I guess where I'm going with that is like the main thing that you told me was his health.
Right.
And health is big.
Right.
However, we've seen time and time again how talent will supersede the fear of a player getting hurt.
Right.
Per se, right?
I like that.
So, and that's why they franchise tag T. Higgins, because say what you want about him, but when he's healthy, pick your poison with Jamar Chase or T. Higgins.
Yeah.
You're probably going to choose T. Higgins because Jamar Chase is a freak, but you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So.
But a lot of people believe in Tyler Boyd, man. I don't know. It seems
I like Tyler Boyd. I just don't agree with you with putting T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd in the same tier. I do believe T. Higgins is better than Tyler Boyd, even though I like Tyler Boyd. I think he's a very solid receiver.
So how would you grade T. Higgins, and like if it was a paper like for school?
So I would give T. Higgins, simply because of the injuries, I'd give him like a B.
Okay.
A solid B. And I'm giving Tyler Boyd that C+.
Okay. Do you have minuses
Above
in his
average.
tier?
Yeah, C-. There's C- and B-.
Okay,
yeah.
so then he's below a B-. He's a C+.
He's a C+. He's below
where T. Higgins is a B.
He's a B. Solid
if he was
B.
healthy, he'd be what, a B+?
Yeah, I'd probably give him like a B+. It depends on how healthy and how well he did. I even think that he could be around that A-, B+, A- range. Personally.
Now, what have I told you? Tyler Boyd's estimated contract is 3-year, $26 million.
That's what?
Like what? How many a year are you asking me? It's somewhere in between eight and 9 million a year.
9 million a year. Yeah, I mean, listen, wide receivers get paid. Wide receivers score touchdowns. So.
And he's 30.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I don't think that's a bad contract. Under 10 mil.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad contract.
Assumed teams he might go to. Back to the Bengals, the Falcons, like you said, with the other receiver, and the Eagles. Now, this says the Eagles here, but I don't see that at all.
Where are they gonna have?
He'd just be another wide receiver number 3.
Yeah, where are they gonna have? They're not gonna have space for him. I think. What was the Bengals? And what was the other team? The Falcons.
The Falcons. He'd be a number 2 to Drake London.
The Falcons are gonna try to build something over there, man.
Yeah, they have to.
They're gonna try to. They've got some pieces. They're gonna try to do something. I mean, hey, yeah, he could fit. I mean, I think Tyler Boyd could fit in a lot of places.
100%. He's one of those guys. One of my favorite slot whatever receivers of all time. I've said this before. Cole Beasley.
Yeah.
He wasn't a flashy player. He was never the number one player, but he did what he had to do
100%.
all the time. From the Cowboys to the Bills to I don't even remember where else he went. But.
Yeah.
So this is number 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like this guy. I don't think so. If I recall correctly, you don't like this guy. Odell Beckham Jr.
It's not that I don't like him. It's just that why is he number 5? The guy's about to retire. Wasn't he just talking about retiring not too long ago?
He's 30. He turns 32 during the season this year.
Give it up. Number 5?
He's assumed a 1-year, $11.9 million.
Get out of here. Nobody's giving Odell Beckham that much money. For what did you do other than have fancy cleats?
I'm going to tell you what he did. 62 targets only.
How many receptions?
35 of those 62.
Okay.
565 receiving yards, which is right there with the rest of the
other guys. Yeah, I hear you.
only 3 touchdowns.
He's not worth $11 million.
Could you argue that he didn't have that many touchdowns being a receiver on the Ravens?
Did you see him in the playoff game?
I saw him.
Oh, because I didn't.
I was going to say, I saw him on the sideline.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see him. So I don't know.
We all know that.
We all know that they dropped back 80% of the time.
Yep.
Which means that he couldn't get open when he was out on the field, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, it sounds like you have no good impression of Odell Beckham as of right now.
Not that I don't. Some people, the NFL needs to learn how to just let some people go. And Odell Beckham also needs to learn how to let certain. You won your championship. You got your ring. You've made some money here. You've made some money in the NFL. You're just. I don't know. I don't see him really contributing like that. And of course, a guy like that is gonna want to go. Now, if you're a championship team, but even if you're a championship team, are you
Chiefs?
sitting back? Really though, and as good as Patrick Mahomes are you sitting there and you're looking at yourself? Let's go get Odell Beckham at 32 for $11 million because he's the one who's going to move the needle.
He'll get us ring number 4.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
So
you're going to be disappointed then because the other 2 teams he's estimated to go to, Jets.
No, that's not happening. Jets don't want him.
Cowboys.
Maybe the Cowboys because they like.
He almost went to the Cowboys last season.
I could see maybe the Cowboys just for that because they like to,
But he wanted to be a Jet too, and then the Jets weren't willing to match the contract that Baltimore got him. Yeah.
Because what did he do? What are we matching?
Whole lot of Nathan.
Nathan.
He's estimated 1 year, $12 million.
That's way too much.
The Jets aren't giving him $12 million.
Absolutely not.
I'll tell you that right now.
He
So
got $18 million in cap space anyway.
I mean, needless to say, right? Who would you call our wide receiver 2 right now?
Nobody,
Jets.
which is why we need Calvin Ridley, and I hope he's on that list. I know he's on that list, and he's probably number 1 on that list.
So look, like we said, this list is not the same source of CBS Sports that we usually would have. So the list is not what I expected it to be. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? Number 4, we've actually spoken about this player exclusively for multiple episodes. You ready? Gabe Davis.
Oh my god.
Now, I'm not PFF.com, but the validity of this list is kind of going out the window.
It's waning.
Now, just to reference, because just to make sure we're in the same category, I've also been checking the CBS Sports one just to see how they compare. CBS has Gabe Davis at 3, not 4.
Listen, Gabe Davis has
Is there something about Gabe Davis that we don't see?
I don't know. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm a Jet fan.
Right.
So I see Gabe Davis quite a bit throughout the regular season, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see much.
No.
I don't see much. What are his stats? I know they're up there. What are they?
Let's see. You got...
I feel like I'm not going to believe it.
You're not going to believe it. 78 targets. It's the highest amount of targets so far on this list. 45 of those 78 receptions.
That's about right. Under 50%, for sure.
746 receiving yards. Ranked 41st out of every receiver.
How many touchdowns?
7. A little more. Tied for 17th most.
And how much is he looking for?
His estimated is 4-year, $55 million.
You must be out for Gabe Davis?
That's what it says right here.
Man, listen.
Best team fits.
50, man.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what he has on his. I'm gonna tell you what he has on his side compared to these other free agent wide receivers that they don't.
Please tell me what.
He's only 25.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's a
that's a valid point to put him up on the list compared to spaghetti and meatballs in the rest of this list that we've had here. It's all been a scramble up until Gabe Davis at 25. All the other ones are, oh, he gets injured, oh, he's old. Oh, he gets injured, oh, he's old. Who's Kendrick Bourne? Oh, this guy's old. And then we get the 25-year-old Gabe Davis.
Right.
Best team fits, according to this list, Chiefs, Bengals, Commanders.
I think the Chiefs might be able to do something with him. Bengals already too many receivers over there, so where are you gonna fit? Gabe Davis needs to show something because he has flashes, right?
Yeah.
He has the flashes.
He's not a bad player though.
No, I don't think he's a bad player. I just think that the way that the Bills were set up,
yeah,
it's Stephon Diggs or a Dink.
Kincaid.
You know what I mean?
They're
like
tight ends.
Yeah. Like it's like things like that. So I think Gabe Davis kind of got lost in the sauce a little bit. However, I do still think as a receiver that you're supposed to make your presence known. Like, yeah, Stephon.
Right.
But you know, if you're you know, I think the guy had a captain. He was a captain too. Was he not?
At one point, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, listen, I haven't seen a lot. Clearly, his numbers show that I haven't seen a lot.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what to expect from him anywhere else. However, if I had to think of some place where I see a guy who's young with good potential, good size, and you know has played for a guy that's somewhat similar in arm talent and stuff like that.
Right.
You could see Gabe Davis being a Chief.
I like that.
Gabe Davis, Rashee Rice,
now,
Travis Kelce.
That's a good looking team right there.
And if anybody's gonna make you look good, it's gonna be Patty. If you can't look good in Andy Reid's offense and with Patrick Mahomes throwing you the
then
ball,
we're sending you to McDonald's with Kadarius Toney.
You're going right there. You don't even get to work the fries.
They make you talk to the people in the drive-thru.
You're in the back splitting the frozen hamburgers from each other.
Now,
they don't stick.
I want to tell you this. This next receiver.
This is number 2.
This is number 3.
3.
This is number 3. And I'm going to put it to you like this. He's number 3 on the PFF list, and he's number 4 on the CBS list. I personally think this guy, if he left where he was, would be a talent. Darnell Mooney of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, Darnell Mooney that high, huh?
He is number 3. I'm going to tell you, look.
Because now this is my thing. You see how you say something like Darnell Mooney. Now, I don't know too much about Darnell Mooney because I haven't seen too much of him.
Right. Well, the Bears don't show too much of anybody, you know?
Right, but what I'm trying to say is that all year long, DJ Moore is all he has. DJ Moore is all he has. DJ Moore is all he has. So if DJ Moore is all he has, why is Darnell Mooney so high on this list? Because he was there last year?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to look a little more. I really don't know a lot about Darnell Mooney myself.
But
I'm trying to see if he has had like injury problems because his numbers really aren't that high. Okay,
that makes sense, right? Like what I'm talking about. Because
yeah.
It's like so he's really high on the list, on both lists. All right, cool.
Yep.
However, the entire time, you ask any Bear fan, the only receiver they got is DJ Moore.
Yep.
Darnell Mooney doesn't even exist. So why is he so high? Where is this upside coming from? How old is this kid?
I'll tell you right now. Darnell Mooney is born in 90s. You know what? I'm gonna find it on this list. He's 27. He turns 27 during this season coming up in October. He's 26.
So he's young.
Estimated 4-year, $42 million. Estimated teams, to be honest, everybody knows it kind of gets repetitive with these free agent lists because we all know what teams need a receiver, we all know what teams need a running back, we all know what teams need a quarterback, so on and so forth. Best fit teams: Chiefs, Eagles, Ravens. I could see him as a Raven.
All of those are contenders, which just tells me that
he's the missing piece, or they're looking for a missing piece.
Not missing piece, but more so hoarding ammunition.
Someone for the catalog, like something to keep in storage when you need it.
Not necessarily storage. He'll be part of the offense.
He's not the red player though.
But exactly. It's part of ammunition. It's like, all right, you've got a guy that can make some plays, here and there, and this and that. Because again, the teams that you named, Eagles, who's he better than?
That's the thing. It's hard to know.
They've
always had such an issue at the quarterback position. I mean, they had that one year that Justin Fields went crazy, but it was because of his rushing stats also. So it wasn't really like he was slinging the ball.
I mean, and then you got the Ravens. Again, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna come back next season,
right?
With that same mentality. They're gonna be a run-heavy team first, and then. If you're the Ravens, you still got some other questions.
You might have to drop Odell.
You still have some other questions in running back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's right.
Both running backs are free agents, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins.
Yep.
So now you look at a guy like Darnell Mooney who wants how much? 4 years, $40-something million, $42 million.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Zay Flowers looks like he might be something. Do you want to bolster that, or do you want to go for somebody who's a little bit cheaper? You know?
I don't know, man. I'm going to put it to you like this. I'm looking at this website, draftsharks.com, that evaluates players and every injury they've had in their NFL career, and then evaluates how likely they are to get injured next season.
Okay. Like the old sports science?
Yes, remember that.
What a great
little callback to that one.
What would you call it? It wasn't a show, because it wasn't a full-blown show.
It was like a segment.
Right, it was a segment in one of the bigger shows.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Probably like Inside the NFL or whatever the heck. Okay.
Now this is interesting, right? Yeah. So, Darnell Mooney, in September 2021, he got a lumbar sprain, grade 1 in his lower back.
Okay.
September of 2021, he also got a groin strain, grade 2.
That kept him out for a couple weeks.
In January of 2021, he had a sprained ankle.
So
grade
that's
2.
Already 3 injuries in 1 year.
In November 2022, the same ankle, torn ligament, grade 3. And then finally, September 2023, a bruised knee. His chance of injury in 2024?
76%.
73%.
Damn, I'm good. I said 76.
That's like before you said
I'm good with numbers.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I guess so. So it's not his injuries that are holding. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not his talent that's holding him back. It's his injuries. Because it seems if he's that high up on the list, it can't be because he's not talented.
Right.
He has to be at least third or fourth most talented on these lists.
Which is great. But if you're a team, again,
yeah,
if you're already gonna spend money, first of all, a lot of these wide receivers that you've mentioned,
yeah,
are all injury riddled. T. Higgins.
Very true. Odell. Yep. Michael Thomas. Name me a lot of injury prone guys. It's true, man. It's true. Now that we're doing that, I want to go to I'm gonna go to the next person really quick and see if I could find their injury thing, because that's important when you're going to the free market. That is important. Because basically what I'm trying to say is that, so if you're a team and you're already gonna spend money, like let's say like you're one of those 3 teams, right? Right. So if you're one of those 3 teams,
All right, so yes, this guy's younger. And yes, he's talented, but he gets injured a lot.
Right.
Do we feel like we want to spend that much, or should we maybe go try out a Michael Thomas, who
has proved more,
who's proved a little more, and we don't necessarily need a number one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of different variables. I mean, listen, these GMs and these owners know way more than we do, obviously.
Yeah.
Because
it's their job to do research.
It's their job. Not only that, it's their team, right?
Right.
So they have to be able to like assess, assets and all that good stuff like that. But hey, man, Darnell Mooney's at 3, I guess. Sure.
I think I could see him like Seattle.
Okay.
Maybe little.
With Tyler Lockett and over there.
If they could figure out their quarterback situation, maybe.
I like Lockett too.
I always like Lockett, but he's been on a decline the last couple of years. They did just re-sign him though.
Yeah, which is why maybe somebody like a Darnell Mooney would be good. You know what I mean? They could be a little a little interchangeable.
What was that?
It was like a hiccup kind of thing.
I thought I was about to have to give you the Heimlich maneuver. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No.
Listen, it's all right, man. I was concerned for your safety, is all.
You know.
So, talking about concern for someone's safety.
They're just coming all day.
Listen, you mentioned him before. Number 1 on the CBS list. Number 2 on the PFF list. Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, man.
He's an animal.
He's good.
He is, and you know what?
He's flat out. We're giving that grade. I'm giving him that B+.
Yeah.
I'm giving him that B+, that A- grade. He's good.
I'm giving him a B, only because he's streaky. I think he has his.
He's streaky, or is Trevor Lawrence streaky?
No, I like Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh.
I like Trevor Lawrence. I'm gonna tell you right here.
What a take.
He got hurt this season, right? Trevor Lawrence got hurt this season, came back. And then got hurt again. But he doesn't really have a long injury history before that. Trevor Lawrence, I'm not. But Calvin Ridley has. And Calvin Ridley was also the guy that got suspended for betting on himself for a year when he was on the Falcons. That's why he's no longer a Falcon. That's why he's in Jacksonville right now. But I want to tell you his stats. Ready? So, 132 targets, right? 76 receptions.
I figured that.
1,016 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, tied for 7th out of all receivers in the league last year. His estimated contract, 4-year, $68 million. It's a high number. His estimated teams are not the teams we've been talking about, though.
Not the Jets?
No. Jaguars again. Jaguars again. It says here the Lions.
Not really. Lions don't need him.
I mean, you wouldn't take Calvin Ridley over a Reynolds? Yeah, you would.
Continuity has a lot to do with sports.
I mean, I agree. You got to build that chemistry, especially in the locker room, especially like with play style.
So if you got a guy like Josh Reynolds, who's already proven to you that he can come through in clutch moments, in high leverage games.
Right.
He already has good chemistry with Jared Goff. Do you really go off? And because if you bring Calvin Ridley, you're not going to play Josh Reynolds as much. You know that.
Yeah.
So is Calvin really more of a insurance? Because you're not going to pay. You're not paying $60-something million for an insurance policy. You're not doing that. You're paying $60-something million for a guy to come in there and produce right away.
Yeah, I agree.
So he needs to go somewhere where he's going to have that bona fide. Because he could be a number one.
He could be. If he went to the right team, he could be a number one.
one.
Now, I want to tell you this third option that they have for him.
Okay.
And this is something that makes sense when you look at it, because it seems like they need to figure out another piece to compensate. The Titans. Now,
who's throwing the ball? I know,
that's the only thing, but we know probably that Derrick Henry isn't going to be there next year, right? So they're looking for another piece.
D-Hop is still there?
D-Hop is still there. So at this point in D-Hop's career, mixed with like the level that they're looking to pay Calvin Ridley, they might be able to fight for that number one kind of there. If they can figure out someone to throw the ball to, someone to throw the ball to them, they have just over the amount in cap space to pay this guy, which is at 65 mil right now. Personally, I think that makes the most sense for him. I think that the Titans' recipe for a good offense is very similar to the 49ers, how we talk all the time about how they don't need a star quarterback, just someone to get it to someone that can make a play.
Yeah.
And if Calvin Ridley can stay actively healthy and take some of the workload off of D-Hop, because realistically, D-Hop didn't really have any receiver on that team last year that was taking any workload from him.
No.
They were just a bad team offensively in general because of their line. So I think that would be an interesting place for him too. I'm going to go ahead and say the Giants.
They need some weapons over there.
They need some weapons over there. They forcibly have agreed to pay too much for a quarterback in Daniel Jones. So if they start making moves the right
They're
way,
going to draft the quarterback too.
Yeah. So if I don't know, man.
I'm almost positive the Giants are going to draft the quarterback, and if they can get Drake May, they will. I even think they'll settle for J.J. McCarthy. So,
I think the Giants are more likely to get a J.J. McCarthy than a Drake May. You know how the Giants be.
I don't. I'm a Jet fan.
Look,
Jet up.
well, I'll tell you this right now. As a Jet fan that likes to watch what the Giants do mockingly, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right, and it's not like that, right, but the Giants were the last team in all of the NFL to ever start a black quarterback. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It was Tyrod Taylor.
That's expensive.
That's kind of wild, dude, because they went from Eli right to Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't think there is no other black quarterback in their history. Not one that started. It might have been on the roster, never started a game, other than Tyrod Taylor. So I can see the J.J. McCarthy more than the Drake May, if you get what I'm saying.
Drake May's white.
Drake May, I thought he's mixed.
No, he's white, isn't he?
J.J. McCarthy's white as snow.
Yeah, J.J. McCarthy.
Blonde flippy hair and all that.
Yeah.
Speaking of blonde flippy
Drake
hair
May.
and I'm trying to think. No, well, to be honest, a lot of these players, I know their play style, but I don't know their face. I only know J.J.
Caleb.
McCarthy because of like him
Yeah,
winning
Drake
the
May
bowl.
is extremely white.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Is it bad? Maybe
It's
it's.
Caucasian. Whatever.
Oh man, yeah. Whoa, hey. So it could go either way.
Yeah, it's Caucasian right there.
Wow. All right. Well, I just learned something today. I learned what Drake May looks like, so that's good.
There you go.
So on that note, we're gonna go right to number 1 on the PFF list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're gonna see why. I'm ready for your reaction. If I'm being honest with you, he is number 2 on the CBS list, number 1 on this list, and that's Hollywood Brown.
Oh my god. Over Calvin Ridley?
Marquise Brown.
I know who he is.
Look, Calvin Ridley was tied for
You got anything
7th.
to say on him?
I've always liked Hollywood Brown personally. I do think that he was balling in the beginning of the year when Kyler Murray wasn't their quarterback, and then Kyler Murray came back. I'm going to say it like this because I feel like nobody says it. I think Kyler Murray is super overrated.
Is he overrated?
Yes. Yes, bro.
I think he's just rated.
Arizona, like right where he's supposed to be.
I think he's just rated.
I think Arizona.
Who's bigging up Kyler Murray? I haven't heard a good thing about Kyler Murray in like 2 years.
All right. That's why he's overrated. You want to know why? Because when was he drafted? 1? First pick of the draft was Kyler Murray, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but that's also because the Arizona they hired Cliff Kingsbury. You know what I mean?
There was a lot going on. I know.
Yeah, we're gonna pick this guy, system, all that good stuff. So there was a lot,
So,
but the guy likes video games, man.
he was drafted first overall in 2019, Kyler Murray. But now, I mean, look, Hollywood Brown was a force to be reckoned with in Baltimore.
Forced to be reckoned with?
I'm gonna put it like this.
That is quite the moniker, my friend.
Look, it was for a reason though. I always liked Hollywood Brown.
I've thrown out for anybody listening to this show today, make sure you have a pen and pad down and you write down some of these words that I'm talking about.
Right.
Some of these
Okay.
You know what I mean? You go back and look them up if you need to. that way that you can use them in your regular day-to-day speech.
Astronomical. So
I said moniker too by the other day. I don't know if you guys know what that
I don't
means.
know. I don't even know what that means. Moniker?
Like a moniker, like it's I guess the way I'm not gonna give you the direct definition, but it's like
A monocle?
no, a moniker is like your title, like that title on you, like
That's your moniker.
yeah, like
Okay, I think I have to look this up after this, but to be honest with you,
to give a full.
yeah, let's please find out what moniker means. How do you spell that? Moniker? Yeah, moniker. A person's name, especially a nickname or alias.
It's like what you're known for.
Yeah. His moniker is Hollywood. They was calling him Hollywood for a reason.
I don't see anything Hollywood about it.
So, but you have to be missing something, right? So, I wanna read you this paragraph from CBS Sports because it's like praising this guy, right? So this is the exact
Praising Hollywood Brown.
Marquise Brown, a first-round pick back in the 2019 NFL Draft, should have a decent market as a speedster who has multiple years left on the right side of 30. Certainly the Cardinals like to keep him after not trading him at the deadline in 2023. Plus, he is one of quarterback Kyler Murray's closest friends in the league since the two were college teammates in Oklahoma. Should he depart to another franchise, the Panthers and the Chicago Bears both make sense. This is what CBS is saying. The Panthers have a clear need at receiver, and a new head coach at Dave Canales has shown the ability to create a solid attack after his revival of Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay last season. So, this is kind of saying that because of his circumstance, he hasn't been a star, but he deserves to be. His stats last season don't really say that. He had 94 targets. 51 of them receptions, over half. 574 receiving, 4 touchdowns. If you look at that right there, you think this guy is a bum.
And what's his estimated contract?
His estimated contract is 4-year, $60 million. Estimated fits Cardinals, Panthers, Bears. Now, he's only 27 though.
No, I hear you.
I think that
I guess you got to show me something. Like, again, I'm not a full-blown NFL scout or anything like that.
I'm going to tell you how I see him. He compares to me at the same way as Garrett Wilson on the Jets. Because
there's no camera on me right now, but
you're squinting at me crazy.
I'm giving you bombastic side eye.
Criminal
offensive side eye.
Look, the truth is, Garrett Wilson is a great receiver who hasn't produced yet.
Whoa, go look at his stats. Go look at Garrett Wilson's stats.
It's only his second year.
Go look at this. Hasn't produced yet.
Look,
he's produced
you
more
want me to look at Garrett Wilson's stats right now? I'll look at Garrett Wilson's stats right now. That's no problem.
If you want Hollywood Brown on the Jets, just say that, but don't diminish Garrett.
I'm not saying I want him on the Jets. I'm saying that Garrett Wilson, look,
two consecutive 1,000-yard receiving yards seasons.
Oh, you want me to go like year by year? All right, I got you. So this year, 95 receptions. Oh wow, 1,042 receiving yards.
Stop playing with me, bro.
But only 3 touchdowns.
Who's throwing you the ball too?
Only 3 touchdowns.
Who's throwing him the ball?
Exactly. So if this player is good, but if you put him on a better quarterback team, he'd be great. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I didn't say, Marquise Brown is better than Garrett Wilson.
So what were you going to say about Garrett
I'm going to say that it's the same situation for the two of them. Lord knows I don't want Garrett Wilson to go anywhere.
Garrett Wilson is a way better wide receiver than Hollywood Brown. Like, it's not.
I'm not saying the two players are comparable.
I understand what you're saying, but even so, what I'm trying to say is that you put pick a team.
If you switch their teams right now. If you switch their teams right now.
If you switch their team, I bet you Kyler Murray would have got Garrett Wilson that ball. I bet you that.
Well,
I bet you that.
So
I bet you that.
So what you're basically saying is, obviously Kyler Murray is a better quarterback than Zach Wilson, right? But that's undoubtable. So you're saying that Kyler Murray would do more with Garrett Wilson than he would with Hollywood Brown.
Yes.
That's understandable.
And I think that any quarterback would do more with Garrett Wilson than they would with Hollywood Brown.
Well, as we said before, Zach Wilson will be flipping burgers next season. So
Yeah, sure enough will. Not even at Mickey D's either. He's gonna work probably like at, I don't know, like name like a
Arby's.
nah, probably like a Dairy Queen. He's
You're
it's just a
stupid.
bunch of people serving ice cream in that one grill cook in the back, and it's Zach.
And he has like one of those hats on that looks like an ice cream cone.
Exactly.
Now, before we get too far off topic talking about Zach Wilson, we don't need to waste any time on him.
At all.
This is someone that I think we also need to look at their injury history is Marquise Brown, because he has had quite a few.
And then look at that too.
Now,
60 mil, 4 years. Keep it, bro.
I'm going to say this. Let's see. His injuries. Okay. So, it's a long scroll. Here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
2019, here's hurts his foot, grade 1. 2019, hurts his hip, grade 2. 2019, hurts his ankle, week 6. 2019, hurts his other ankle, week 7. 2019, hurts his ankle again, week 9. 2019, hurts his ankle, week 10. All right, keep going. Past 2019. 2020, hurts his knee, week 5. Week 16, hurts his other knee.
So you're telling me by the time, so in like a couple of years, he's not going to be walking anymore because he's not going to have his legs.
He's going to be in a wheelchair on the
He's going
sideline.
to be in a wheelchair because clearly his ankles and knees cannot hold up.
His whole issue, it seems like, his feet, his ankles. There's been 3 times, 4 times, 5 times in the last remaining of his career that he was out because of an illness.
I don't know about that. I mean, sometimes they'll just, say illness and it'll be like a personal reason or whatever.
But 5 times though.
But again,
Is that
going back to
that
what you
acceptable?
said, going back to what you said, what's your value is based on how available you can be.
Yeah.
So it just seems to me like a lot of these, again, another wide receiver that's on this list that has been riddled with injury.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't see why would you offer somebody that much money. Now again, it's an estimation, and I know you hear about upside, but the only thing that I could probably guarantee about Hollywood Brown is that he's going to get hurt again.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So, and I don't think his upside is more than a Calvin Ridley.
I was just about to say. I was thinking about that actually. So looking at this whole list.
I don't even think his upside is higher than a Tyler Boyd.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
I think I like Tyler Boyd more than I like Hollywood.
No, I'm not gonna agree with you on that one. No, I gotta honestly tell you, I like Hollywood Brown. That's why I call him Hollywood, not Marquise, or Cool or whatever. So I want to say this: out of all the receivers that we just named, right? I'll go through them one more time with you. Michael Thomas, DJ Shark, Kendrick Bourne, Curtis Samuel. Who's this? Tyler Boyd, Odell, Gabe Davis, Darnell Mooney, Calvin Ridley.
Give me Gabe Davis over.
This is what I was going to say. I think Gabe Davis has the highest floor out of all the players listed. Like, you can expect bare minimum the most out of Gabe Davis. But the highest ceiling is Calvin Ridley to me.
I think so.
To me. Out of everyone. And he's number 2 on this list.
I think along those lines. I think you will get the most out of your money with Gabe Davis. Because I think that out of all of those guys, even though he's also a little bit injury prone himself,
right.
I do think that he will give you, he's possible with the right quarterback and everything to give you the most production when it comes to like staying on the field and staying somewhat healthy.
Yeah.
But I do agree with Calvin Ridley that he has the most upside because if you can keep him healthy, I think that he can be a top tier receiver in this league.
100%. I agree.
I think he has all the skill. I think he has the skill set. I think he has the size, the speed.
So maybe when PD comes back, we got to tell him he was wrong about Gabe Davis. It seems like he's the go-to guy in this list, and he's the youngest one.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe there's something to be spoken about Gabe Davis. Start calling his ass Gabriel.
Yeah.
Little emphasis.
Gabriel Davis.
So we don't know him by his moniker.
Hey now.
Look, so
Already using it.
I'm trying. I try and learn. You know, I got a good score on my SAT when I was in school.
That's a fact.
So, speaking on that, we got a little transition now.
What's the transition? What are we transitioning to?
Keeping score. Cue the music. And then we don't have to pause. We keep going. So, welcome officially to Keeping Score.
Let's do it.
Our day by day on who's hot and who's not in the NBA.
Yeah.
I got a couple notes for you, bro. Hold up, I'm prepared today, man. So I don't have a lot.
It's okay.
The truth is, the very, very truth is that I really didn't have any interest in watching Phoenix play at all. If I'm being honest with you, as I've learned to develop my fandom of why I watch certain teams, there's teams that excite me when they play.
Okay.
The Lakers is one of them, and not just because I'm a fan. Like, I think the Lakers play exciting basketball right now. Boston, I actually really like watching Boston.
You know what's funny that you say about Boston? I mean, they're cool to watch or whatever, but Boston's media team came out with this I saw it on Instagram, this really dope edit, man, of when they beat the Warriors by like 50.
Mm-hmm.
But they did a really good job over there. So shout out to them. I don't know.
Shout out to Boston's marketing
shout out
team.
to Boston's marketing team. Their editing team, their social digital creation, whatever the case may be. But that last post that you guys made with that little montage of Jaylen Brown scoring and Jason Tatum scoring and stuff like that, the camera angle that they did, that was good stuff. All right. And I sent it to the Lakers because I want something like that done for us. You know what I mean?
I mean, the Lakers are always going to get the most media, like, in general, right? Because Boston gets a highlight reel like that, right? And then Los Angeles will get a clip of, like, LeBron picking his ear with a Q-tip, scratching his ass, going to the USC game, come back, and you'll see the whole documentary of that day before he got ready for the game. Like, the most video that we get of any team in the whole NBA is the Lakers, bro. Without a doubt.
Of course.
Without a doubt. The Knicks probably have the same amount, but they don't show it. Yeah.
Nah, they don't. Lakers, because that's a team that, I mean, New York Knicks and Celtics, all those teams are names that you can say anywhere.
Right.
Lakers are, come on, man, it's the Lakers.
So, I want to say this as well, because I watched this game, and this game actually really excited me. I watched the Minnesota-Indiana game on Thursday, and how Anthony Edwards blocked that shot to win the game. That was exciting, man. Yo, he is another electric player.
He's a beast, dude.
Yo, that guy's a monster.
He's a
bro.
beast. I think I might have said this too. I think he's my favorite player right now.
I think he's my favorite player right now. If it's either him, as far as the new players, it's either him or Luka.
I can't get down with Luka. So
why?
Last week we had
a game manager.
We had this MVP talks, right? And I got something to say.
Okay.
Luka, as great as an offensive player that he is,
athlete.
I said offensive player. I didn't say athlete.
Okay.
You can't jump over a piece of paper.
Okay. Okay.
He, unless he changes his style, is never going to win a championship. He may win some accolades. He may get an MVP or two because the numbers are crazy.
Right.
You know, he may even get a little. He did go to the Western Conference Finals not too long ago. When they were against the Suns.
Yeah.
I believe the Suns won that, and then they lost to the Bucks in the finals. But he's a huge liability defensively.
Can I ask you a question? I'm sorry.
He's not good off the ball. Like, he's not. So it's like, and those are aspects of the game. Part of the reason that the NBA is the way it is now with this huge influx in scoring is because honestly, the game of basketball is going into a more European style of play.
Yep.
And with that being said, Europeans are known for flashy passes and high scoring and shooting and these big men that can, do so many things on the floor.
Right.
But name me one elite defensive European player. I'll wait.
Jokic?
Absolutely not. And I'm mad that you even said it that fast because that just shows. But it's okay because we're still on.
Damn.
We're still on the.
Oh my, yo, Jesus Christ!
We're still on the a basketball journey with you.
I can't believe,
Jokic doesn't play
it was so easily about to come out of your mouth. That's how I know you don't watch basketball, because I watch basketball. Me. So
I watch a lot, dude. I watch a lot, and all I'm trying to say is that you can ask anybody who watches ball like that, and they can't name an elite European defender. It just doesn't. They don't.
An elite European defender.
Can't name one.
Not Porzingis.
Can't name one. The closest thing would be Shai Gilgeous, but he's not even European. He's Canadian.
Yeah, that's not Europe, bro.
I know. That's why I said the closest.
It's still North America,
It's
dude.
the closest.
That's like naming anyone on the Raptors. All right.
It's hardly there.
But I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying.
So with that being said, man, it's just, I know I digress from the subject.
Wembanyama?
I guess he has the potential.
Come on, that's a good answer.
That is a good answer.
Come on, bro. France. He's from France.
But he's also black.
Hey, whoa. So what, bro? There's black people in Europe.
Yeah, bro. It just so happens.
What do you mean?
It just so happens.
Have you heard the stories about his brother? Wembanyama's brother.
Is he nice?
He's 16 years old. 6'8".
Yeah, he just
They're built exactly the same.
Yeah.
I was saying this off mic to Petey when I spoke to Petey last. I think that Wembanyama's brother, hopefully, I wouldn't wish bad on anybody, hopefully could be what the Antetokounmpo brothers were supposed to be.
What do you mean? You don't want to be like the Thanasis?
The Thanasis just got his own shoe. Did you see that?
He sucks.
He didn't get his own signature shoe, but Giannis gave him the shoe because
that dude, that dude has to love. When I tell you he loves Giannis, he got You want to talk about what is that called? Like nepotism?
Yeah.
He's
nepotism.
He is a direct
perfect example of nepotism.
A perfect example of it. He got him a job.
Yep.
Sneakers.
The job.
The job.
The job to have.
Yeah. You're the secretary? Yeah, my uncle's the boss. That's basically what
you're looking for the manager? Hi, Thanasis. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Thanasis. Yeah, my brother's the owner. Are you kidding me, dude?
Oh, man. To be honest with you, I think it's a hard one.
That guy makes me sick when it comes to that. Yeah, he makes me sick, dude. But it makes me feel just give me So you're telling me that if I had a couple more inches of height that I could have played in the NBA because Thanasis is in there, and I don't know how.
It's the name.
Listen, man, there's a lot.
Names
of players.
ring bells.
I will be the first player. I will be the first person to say that every NBA player that is on that bench will go out and give me 50 on any given day on any court. However, Thanasis, me and you, we could.
Oh nah. See,
we could get at it.
See that you don't know.
We could get at it.
You think
we could get at it.
You think you'd beat Thanasis in a one-on-one?
We could get at it.
In a one-on-one, you'd beat him?
We could get at
it.
To
21?
We could get at it. We could get at it.
Oh, David, that's ballsy, bro.
We could get at it, man.
I don't know about that.
We could get at it.
So look, I want to ask you a question. Have
you ever seen an 8-second violation on a game?
Yes.
Yeah?
I have, actually.
And was it the Nazis behind it? Because he did it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's the only one I've seen live. Unfortunately. It's hard, man. It's hard, dude.
We could get at it.
So you have more of a chance of beating Thanasis in a one-on-one than I do of getting 10 receiving yards in a football game?
Yes.
That's that. No. I want to ask this to Petey when he comes back. I would love to know the answer. But Petey's also a hater, so the first he's gonna say is, of course, David's the best. I'm like, all right, man. Well, whatever. But on another note, there's a lot of exciting players and a lot of exciting games that went on in those games that you listed in past. That New York Cleveland game was fun, even though Brunson went out. That was interesting for sure. The Clippers Bucks game was fun. I don't know, man. I think that I see, even though it seems like you're evidently not a big Boston fan currently, but I can honestly see like why they evaluate Jason Tatum the way that they do. It seems like media right now is Michael Jordaning him right now. I don't know if you've noticed that. Have you seen like a lot of commercials with him? He's in this, he's in that.
Well, they want to make him. I mean, like I said, he's gonna be one of like I mentioned before. He's gonna be one of the faces. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If not the face. And with the team that they have, see, what it is that the NBA, and just like in sports, they try to push narratives, and sometimes they try to push them preemptively.
Right.
So you have a situation where the Boston Celtics are really good. Jason Tatum's really good. A lot of people in the NBA, a lot of officials, a lot of higher-ups, analysts, a lot of people suspect Boston to win a championship this year.
Right.
So because of that, of course you're going to see an influx.
They
of
start
Jason
backing
Tatum.
up the media to
Right.
fill in those shoes.
Me, I'm not one of those.
I mean, you already said it earlier. You got Denver.
I'm not one of those analysts.
You got Denver, Boston, Denver, and 6.
Yeah, I'm not one of those analysts because I've watched Jason Tatum choke in really big games.
What was it, to the Heat that they took them to 7 and then lost, and they were up last year,
I've
right?
seen him choke in really big games, regular season, playoffs. Like I've seen him choke. Dude, in the series against the Warriors, that was Jaylen Brown. Why do you think Jaylen Brown got all that money?
Yeah.
Half of that was because of his performance in the playoffs. If it wasn't for Jaylen Brown, they might have lost in 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'm just so. I mean, but I don't want it to sound like I'm a Jason Tatum hater because I think he's a phenomenal player.
Right.
I think the dude is great.
He's an A.
He's an A for sure, 1A, But I don't know. There's certain moments where I feel like, oh, this is your time to. That, you know what I mean? And you go against the Nuggets the other night and you have 16 points.
Right.
Like what?
Now I wanted to say something to you that I thought of
Who
before.
on the Nuggets can guard you?
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it. Their best defenders, Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon shouldn't be able to stay in front of. Aaron Gordon's a good defender. Borderline great defender.
Have you heard them say of the unstoppable move? I don't know if we talked about this last week. They keep saying the unstoppable move is like Jokic lob to Aaron Gordon right next to the rim.
Yes. I mean, but that's an offensive thing. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, I know.
So you coming out having 16. I mean, whatever.
Who on the Celtics is guarding that? Who? Not Porzingis.
Why not?
Is guarding that Aaron Gordon move?
I mean, listen, it's a great play, but listen, when in a playoff series, you have time to, adjust certain defensive schemes and stuff like that. Like, so I don't know about only that. I'm talking about just Jason Tatum right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that I think he's a fantastic player. Great. However, I've seen him choke in some pretty big moments, so he's gonna have to win something for me.
No ice in his veins.
He's got ice in his. He's just gonna have to win. He's gonna have to win something for me, man. I'm sorry, like. There's certain players that, like, I can see, yeah, you're great and all that stuff like that. And, and to be honest with you, I also don't really, I'm not too, I don't know how to put it. Like, his game to me is a little.
Boring?
Yeah. Low key.
I can see it.
Low key. It's just like, it's just a little boring.
Now, there's players that are good. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, exciting players are always good and that boring players are always bad. There's obvious examples of that throughout NBA history, like Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental is the most boring guy to watch, but he was consistent, right?
Pause, I'm sorry. I just want to say that all day I've been catching angel numbers since the moment I woke up today.
Okay.
10-10, 11-11, 1-11, 2-22. It's like happening on the hour. And I know I
Okay.
look at my phone a lot. However, some things just, it goes from coincidence to like, all right, every hour I just so happen to look at my phone, or it's just so happen to, you know.
Right, and it's 2:22 right now.
So shout out to whoever's out there, you know, giving signs to your boy. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Keep them coming.
Want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
You know, not to throw Petey's business out there. When I was helping him move yesterday, his number of his apartment he was moving out of, 222. That's all I'm saying.
Hey.
That's all I'm saying.
Look.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, they're talking to us. They're telling us we're on the right path.
Right.
They're telling us we're doing big things.
Right.
They're telling us that the people are loving it. They want more.
Give it to me. Give it to me. So I wanted to say this to you really quick, right? Because before we get too off topic on the whole Anthony Edwards.
Well, good Lord, my brother.
What's up?
This thing is down to the nitty gritty.
It's the nitty gritty. I got paid yesterday. I gotta get another one.
This is the nitty gritty.
It's the itty bitty nitty gritty.
This is the, I feel
Schmitty.
You know what? I'm gonna hand this back to you because I feel bad. Even this is.
There's nothing in there, bro. It's right there.
Go ahead, take that.
It's not good enough for you?
It's not that. It's just that I want you to savor what you've got.
Well, listen, I appreciate that.
That's all it is. I'm being considerate.
I'm gonna come back.
I'm not that guy who, when you saved a little bit of juice left in the milk, you know, in the carton,
Yeah.
and I come in and I take that last squig of
When
juice.
you've
been waiting for that juice all day. You've been waiting for that juice. You brought home your lunch from work.
Yeah,
half your lunch from work.
Right,
You're like,
right.
I'm gonna smack the rest of the sandwich. I'm gonna smack the rest of the sandwich with the rest of that juice.
Right.
And you come home and your roommate done smack the rest of the juice in that carton. I'm not that guy.
You're one of those guys that if everybody ordered an appetizer to share and there was one left, you're not taking it.
I'm not taking it.
There's no way.
I'm gonna do the ask around first.
So,
I'm gonna give it some time on the table.
Right.
I'm gonna give it a couple minutes. I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah.
Because if I'm hungry, I'm gonna look at it.
You're not gonna let it get cold though.
I'm not gonna let it get cold, but I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna see how everybody's feeling, and then I'm gonna give a couple eye contacts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Give them like the hey.
Look at the appetizer.
There's one potato skin left right
Right.
there, so.
We haven't had potato skins in a while.
Some potato skins. I've been in the mood.
When's the last time you
It's
had
been a
potato
little
skins?
minute. Shout out my grandma. My grandma, her birthday just passed, so she used to give me potato skins all the time.
Homemade potato skins?
No, it was the TGI Friday freeze
I could
them.
probably make the heck out of a potato skin.
To be honest, potato skins go crazy though.
Loaded potato
a little bacon, little cheese,
a little sour cream,
Oh, come on, bro.
maybe a little chives or something.
But look, before we get a little hungry, because I'm dying for
a
some
little
food
hungry.
now.
I'm starving over
Look,
here on the other
so
side of this mic.
I wanted to say this real quick because you brought up Anthony Edwards before.
Yeah.
You could tell me if I'm wrong. I want to talk a little bit about this because I really, like you said, he's an electric player, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, from what I've seen of basketball, I think he's the first player that I've actually sat down and watched the game, and I feel like he brings the game to him to make him comparable, right? Hit him with that word. I would use him in a comparison to Magic Johnson. Two different types of positions, you know, but it's a position that I don't really see someone playing the game at the position that they're at the way that he is, because I feel like he's very creative.
He is really creative. They're actually, I don't really know how to. It's like I want to compare Anthony Edwards to like certain players, but I don't necessarily know how to. I see flashes of D Wade. I see flashes of Jordan.
Right.
I see like.
Have you heard the rumors about Anthony Edwards being Jordan's son?
Yeah, well, yeah, him and Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
They're good. But Anthony Edwards, man, again, man, he's just one of those and that creativity, and the creativity matched with the ability is what makes him so.
Right.
Cause it's like, oh, up and under, oh, nobody's in front of me, I'll shoot, I'll throw it off the backboard, why not?
Yeah, but people don't do that.
I mean,
people aren't throwing it off the backboard like that.
No, not like that. I mean, like Kobe's did it a couple times during the regular season, like when he played and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen very often, but it's just things like that. But if you watch him, you watch his footwork, like that little post up, boom, turn around to the jumper, that little tween cross, like he's Euro to the left hand lay, or he could just boom on anybody, like,
Right.
and then his shot got better. So he could shoot that 3-peat, so you can't leave him open from over there now. He's becoming a better passer.
You can't really leave him anywhere at this point,
Yeah,
right?
man.
He's just one of those guys.
Yeah, and let me tell you something, guys.
Let me tell you something.
For people that are maybe just getting into basketball and just getting into the players and things like that.
Right.
If you want to know a good meter, right, of how elite a basketball player is, look at where they take these shots. Elite players, superstars, take mid-range shots. Remember that. Elite players, superstars, take mid-range shots.
Because it's more contested?
In the NBA, your highest percentage shots are the 3 or at the rim.
Right.
That's why a lot of times what you'll see is you'll see a team kick out. They'll set a screen or however they run a play to the rim. If the rim isn't open, they kick it right back out to the 3.
And they try it again.
And then either they shoot the 3 or they try to run that same play.
Right.
But you know who stops and takes a mid-range shot?
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum,
DeRozan.
Kawhi Leonard. These are the mid-range shot in particular is something that you only see elite players taking. It's a great shot, but again, you're going into the middle of the defense, and a lot of times you're contested. So that's just a little tidbit. That's something that you can take too.
I like that.
As you're watching the games and stuff like that, notice who takes mid-range shots and notice who don't. You're not going to see role players taking mid-range shots. You're not going to see this and then that, but you know, Shai Gilgeous is going to take his. He's going to set the whole game. Kobe lived in the mid-range.
Yep.
Melo lived in the mid-range.
Jordan.
LeBron even lives in that mid-range. LeBron loves that mid-range turnaround jump shot.
Yep.
KD, mid-range god.
Yeah,
You
for real.
understand?
For real.
Only one of the few superstars that I've seen make and be a prolific scorer without using the mid-range is Steph Curry.
I was just thinking Curry.
And that's because he's so good of a shooter that it's like
he doesn't even need to.
But these prolific scorers, and that's why they call them 3-level scorers, because there's 3 levels on that basketball court that they can score from.
Is Shai doing that?
What? Anything he wants. Shai does anything he wants on the basketball
He
court.
lives his life consistent. Do you see that?
I
You see that post?
did.
Like, how do
I
you
did.
stay so consistent on the court? My life is consistent.
Anything he wants to do on that court, he can. But it's another guy. So that's just a little tidbit. You'll notice that, like, superstar players, prolific scorers, they're scoring from that mid-range.
So let me ask you this. You know, as we wrap up what is keeping score and we get into the next week of what is basketball until we get back to them, I know you had highlighted some of the games that you thought were the best ones for us to watch throughout the week. You wanna run us through that one? See if any of those are something interesting to you.
Actually, let's change it up a little bit. Why don't you run through them? Since I've already picked them out, why don't you run through them, and I'll let you know why I'm excited to watch.
Okay.
I'll let you know the matchup.
So I'm gonna name out the ones that you picked.
Okay.
Is that what you want me to do? I'm not. I was confused by what you were trying to switch it up.
The ones that I picked, and then I'll let you know essentially why I picked them or whatever.
I bet I could guess. How about I give you a guess as to why I think, and then you rebuttal it. Ready?
Right
So
on.
first up, we got today at 3.5 hours from now, Milwaukee plays the Clippers.
Which I'm putting a ticket in right as we speak.
Now I'm gonna say that this is a good one because it's. I don't know. I'm going to say it's a good matchup for LA because LA plays defensive basketball minus James Harden. Is that pretty accurate to say or no?
Okay. I think it's a good matchup just because both of these teams are vying for top seeds in their respective conferences.
Right.
And this has been the healthiest that I've seen Kawhi in a long time.
Yeah.
So it's good to see, even though I'm not the biggest Kawhi fan, but I do, I'm a fan of his game. I'm a fan when he was healthy and stuff like that. This is just one of those games where you've got superstars all over.
Yep.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Paul George. This is good basketball. This is going to be a good game. Also, I also like to pick games where I do think that they match up well with each other because nobody wants to see a blowout.
Right. That's not a good game.
Nobody wants to see a blowout. So
a competitive back and forth.
You want to see competitive, and I feel like this is a game now. Mind you, the Clippers just played last night, so there may be a little bit of a lag. You understand what I'm saying? But still, I still think it's going to be a good game.
All right. The next one we got at 7 o'clock today, Philly at New York. Now, I'm going to say, without Embiid, I think they have pretty similar records, if I'm not mistaken, Philly and New York. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good matchup between the two of them. Is Jalen Brunson back?
Yeah, I believe he's playing. Jalen Brunson, it was a knee bruise.
Yeah.
That it was. So he may still be out. I don't think he's starting.
Okay, so the injury report for this game: Tyrese Maxey's out, Robert Covington is out, and DeAnthony Melton is out. And then for the Knicks, you got OG Anunoby out, Julius Randle's still out, and then Mitchell Robinson is out.
Yeah, well, those three guys I knew that. So that means that Jalen Brunson is still playing.
Yeah.
I was a little bit when I highlighted that game. I was a little bit more excited because I like Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah,
and I like that matchup between the two. But with all these injuries and stuff like that, it's whatever. I mean, if you're a Knicks fan,
you might have to remove it from the highlight.
Might have to remove that to the highlights. Some things have happened in between that.
All right, that was coming off the list. Let's hop into the next one. Oh, exciting because we were just talking about them. Minnesota at Los Angeles.
Yeah. So that's good. So right now, man. Lakers are fighting.
Yeah.
They're fighting. They're the 9th seed right now, which means they're in the play-in. But they're fighting. Minnesota's a top team. Minnesota just lost Big Cat too.
Oh, he's out
for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, he got surgery, right?
Yeah, for the rest
I
of the
heard
season.
about
surgery.
that.
So that's big time. But what that does mean is that now you're gonna see a whole lot of AE.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now he was sharing the ball. Not that he was sharing the ball. You know, obviously he's still probably the top priority on offense, but Cat Williams can also score, and Cat Williams also has a good amount of plays. Cat Williams.
Who? Yo, hold on. Wait a second. Wait a minute.
Karl Anthony Towns.
I know you saw him run his 40. He's not on the court just yet, bro.
My fault. A little slip up.
No, please.
But with Big Cat, so him being injured like that is going to open up for Anthony. You're going to see Anthony Edwards doing a lot on the court, which is cool because he can do a lot.
Now let me ask you this: what if I told you that Anthony Edwards is a game time decision today?
Ooh, hey, Lakers need these wins, so I don't care.
It's good for me, man.
Hey,
Look,
man.
He's questionable for Sunday's game against the Lakers with left soreness.
Hey now. Hey, if you're sore, bro, sit out. Don't even worry about it.
Game load management.
Yeah, dude, don't worry about it. It's cool. That's it. Just don't worry.
But on the same token, Anthony Davis is a game time decision for left shoulder soreness, and LeBron James is a game time decision because of his ankle.
Now, I'm gonna tell you this: LeBron didn't play last game because of that. Anthony Davis hurt his shoulder. I saw it. I saw him like hurt it, like landed awkwardly or something like that.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, I like how the Lakers play when LeBron isn't there.
Yeah. They're really building something bigger than LeBron over there, I feel like.
So, however, AD is a very big part of what we do defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So without AD, I don't know. However, if Anthony Edwards doesn't play, because I'm not worried about Rudy Gobert whatsoever.
Yeah.
No matter who I have at center, Jackson Hayes. But we're also missing our bigs too. So if AD doesn't play, Christian Wood is out also, I believe.
Yeah, he is. He is
out. Christian Wood's still out. LeBron's out. AD's out. I don't know. I'm gonna watch the game clearly.
Right.
But
like the psychopath, like that's what you said last episode, right? You're a psychopath.
Exactly.
You watch it all at 10:30 at night.
But if you aren't a huge basketball fan like that, The Stars clearly doesn't seem like the Stars are going to be out, so you may want to skip it. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna tell. Listen, not everybody's gonna be a diehard basketball enthusiast. Listen, we all love football.
Right.
Do we sit there and watch every single game though? Like there are some games that we're like.
I mean, football is different. I mean, it's not really because some of the games play at the same time.
True.
So
True.
you really
a lot of basketball games.
a lot of basketball is also played at the same time.
So I mean, pick your poison. But I won't be mad if you guys don't watch Timberwolves and Lakers because LeBron, AD, Anthony Edwards, and Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, all the people you were excited about are gonna be out basically.
Exactly.
Moving on to the next one. This is the 11th, which is tomorrow. You got Golden State at San Antonio.
I like that. Golden State is also, vying for a better playoff position. And I think this Victor Wembanyama kid, man, the more he plays, the better he's getting.
Yeah. And on top of everything else, right? Very interesting. Steph Curry's out of this game. I'm going to check right now exactly why he's out. With an ankle to be reevaluated on Tuesday. So he's definitely not playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's had a little bit of ankle problems in his past.
Yeah.
Steph Curry runs around a lot. He's on the ball, off the ball. So if you're the Warriors, you're gonna let that take. You're gonna be very patient with that.
Right.
You're gonna be very patient with that.
So with that all being said, ESPN still has the Warriors at a 65% chance of winning this game.
Well, the Spurs suck. So the Victor Wembanyama is great, but the Spurs still suck. There's still 15-man roster, and there's still 14 other guys that's got to contribute.
I get what
and
you're
the
saying.
Warriors still have a championship pedigree. You know what I mean?
100%.
So with guys that have proven that can win, and so I would still pick the Warriors, but.
All right, let's go along this list a little more. I want to start mentioning teams we haven't mentioned. So I'm going to say Tuesday, March 12th at 8 o'clock, you got Indiana playing Oklahoma City. How do you feel about that one?
I like that. I like Tyrese Halliburton. I think Shea Gilgeous is a problem, obviously.
My life is consistent.
Both of these teams, obviously playoff contention. OKC's fighting to. It's every other day it changes. Either number 1, number 2, number 3, number 1, number 2, number 3. It changes all the time. So it's just exciting. Both of those guys, young, exciting point guards. I think Indiana could be a little bit of a problem too, man. A couple pieces that they had. Tyrese Halliburton might actually be hurt. Is he playing?
I don't know if he's playing, but his other personality might be playing. So who knows?
Okay, so somebody will be out there.
No, on a serious, he's active.
Okay.
He's still there's no reason to believe that he wouldn't be. So that's a good matchup.
Yeah, but the Pacers. The Pacers also have a good little team over there, man.
Yeah, man.
They picked up Siakam on that trade deadline. Miles Turner's over there. Obi Toppin. They've got some pieces. Are they championship ready? I don't believe so. Especially because they just lost their rookie Benedict Mathurin.
Yep.
So he won the Rising Stars MVP. I think he's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, out for the season.
Yeah, so that hurts a little bit for them. He gives you a good 15 coming off that bench.
Yeah.
So
aside from Shy though, the Thunder isn't a team to be played with either. They got this guy. What's his name? Chet Holmgren, whatever his name is.
Another thing too, another little tidbit I learned the other day about OKC. They moved up in the draft to get Jalen Williams. And a lot of people, a lot of analysts wondered, like, why would they do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who is this guy? And Jalen Williams is playing really good basketball right now.
Yep.
Jalen Williams has actually fit into that OKC system extremely well.
Listen to this statistic about Jalen Williams. Averages 19.2 points, 4.1 rebounds, 4.5 assists. His field goal percentage averages 54%.
Hooping, man.
Hooping. Going
Those
stupid.
are good numbers, dude. And he's young as hell, too. He's got to be like 23 years old, 22, something like that.
Yep, and it's true. When they took him when they traded up to get him, it was the round 1, pick 12.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty high up there.
Yeah, a lottery pick. They went up to get him, but I'm just saying they've got some good. Both of those teams have good young pieces, which makes for good, exciting basketball.
I agree. Now, as far as games go that I feel like you highlighted, I don't know if this one is going to be exciting, but you tell me. Denver at Miami.
Why wouldn't it be? That's a rematch of the finals.
It's a rematch of the finals, of course.
They play each other well.
Do you think they will now, though? I feel like, yes, playoff Jimmy is, it's undoubtedly, and it's not the playoffs, but like this part of the year, a lot of people say Jimmy Butler is set to explode. But do you think that they match up well if Jokic is playing at full capacity, though?
I mean, I still think the Nuggets are going to win.
Right.
I just think it'll be a good game because I know that the Heat will be motivated.
Oh, ESPN has it at a 50-50. It can go either way.
Eric Spoelstra's a really good coach, man. He's really good with those X's and O's. So don't sleep.
The Nuggets have won.
Don't sleep. I know what you're thinking. Don't just stop complaining.
Wait. Why can't I think of who sings that?
Don't tell
me 'cause it hurts. Don't speak. Who sings that song, bro?
No doubt.
That's the name of the artist?
That's the name of the group, No Doubt.
I didn't know that. That's new information for me.
It's before you.
Yeah, whatever. It's after you and then some. You got Kevin Love out of the game. You got Tyler Hero out of the game. You got Josh Richardson out for the season. Their leading scorer is Jokic averaging 26 and Jimmy Butler averaging 21. Assist leader is Jokic and Jimmy Butler again. Rebounds is Jokic, but Adebayo is their rebound leader for the Heat. I think I don't know. I think this is an interesting one because it's going to match up, like you said, the same way it was in the chip, but it seems like the Heat has been struggling against the higher-end teams. They played the Nuggets on the 29th and lost 103-97. So maybe they're it's going to be like a comeback game, trying to redeem themselves, something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to go through different teams as we go along here, so bear with me as I look through your highlighted things. Thursday, March 14th, you got Phoenix at Boston.
They just played, was it last night? Or like 2 nights ago?
Well, they played each other?
Yeah, I think it was last night.
I'll tell you right now. Let's see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost.
Yeah, they lost.
117-107.
Mm-hmm. It was a good game, though. Good game throughout. Exactly what I expected. Devin Booker, I believe, is still out. So that changes the dynamic of the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Devin Booker is a huge part of their offense. But the Suns are looking like they are starting to figure things out a little bit and come fully healthy into the playoffs. There might be a little bit of a problem.
Does it change your mind at all if I said the Porzingis was a game-time decision for this game?
No, I still think they have more. I still think that the Celtics still have more talent.
Yep.
Than the Suns. I think the Suns are still trying to find exactly with continuity and guys staying healthy and stuff like that. Because if one guy's hurt, another guy's healthy. One guy's hurt, another guy's healthy. Right. Like very very rarely have you seen all three of them this season. Talking about the Suns, all together on the same court. So I'm still gonna give the advantage to the Celtics, Kristaps or not.
Do you want to take a guess at the percentage they think the Celtics are going to win? Like, what are the chances that Boston wins this game?
I'm sure it's like in the 80s.
84?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're hitting on these numbers today, dude. I don't know what's going on. That's like the third number that you got within like 3% something.
Well, let's hope that these numbers that I'm putting in the FanDuel right now are 100%.
All right, I'm going to hit you with one more. Ready? I got. Let's see. Interesting one. I'm going to hit you with Friday, March 15th, the Clippers against the Pelicans. How do you feel about that one?
I like that, man. I like what the Pelicans got over there. I think Herb Jones right now is the best perimeter defender in the league right now. young guy, great size, can shoot the three. More of a 3-and-D guy, but I think when it comes to perimeter defenders in the league right now, I think it's him and Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels plays on the Timberwolves. Just another good matchup.
Yeah.
I think Zion is
He's finally coming into himself, kind of.
Sort of. I think because he's playing more, but I just don't. Zion will never be what everybody expected him to be, which I said very long ago. If I still had access to that Twitter, where I said it, I would love to pull it up. I'm gonna try to find it.
So
that nobody thinks that I'm lying.
For the culture.
Because when I say my takes, I stand behind them, and I'm usually pretty right. So
okay.
When Zion
Go
came
crazy
out, I didn't think that Zion was going to be the next coming, which everybody thought.
Yeah.
I thought he was more of a Charles Barkley type, and that's kind of what he's turning out to be. Charles Barkley, when he played, don't let Charles Barkley with the big oversized suit and everything fool you.
He was nice.
He was nice as hell.
He was super nice.
He was super nice, and he was that same type of power forward, 6'6", could jump out the building, could bully you. You know what I'm saying? Step out a little bit. He won MVP. I don't know if Zion has that same work ethic. Because we all know Zion's a little freak boy and everything.
Right, and he goes to Wendy's a lot and whatnot.
Exactly. Like there's literally literal reports of members of that organization that say that he has like an eating problem. Like he doesn't like he just does not diet. Like when you've got every chef in New Orleans knows your name. And not just knows your name because you play for the Pelicans, but knows your name because you done been in their restaurant or you done, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
All right, bro. Like, let's change it up a little bit. Have a celery stick, guy.
Chill.
You know what I'm
We're not out here fat shaming nobody
let's
either.
Let's have some overnight oats. No, I'm not saying that, but come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he said some overnight oats.
Like, come on. You don't gotta have.
Oh my God, no way.
You don't gotta have. You don't gotta have freaking fried soft shell crab and crawfish every night, bro. Relax.
Nah, I'm messed up over overnight oats, bro. That is funny as. Oh man, that's funny as hell, bro. But look, he's doing all right. He's averaging 22.
Yeah.
He gets about 6 rebounds. His field goal percentage is at 57.
Yeah, because everything he takes is around the rim, so of course he's gonna have a high field goal percentage. But the man on that team is Brandon Ingram. Love that guy. Lakers drafted him.
Yep.
Love Brandon. Hated that we had to give him up, but whatever. We sold our.
He was definitely the best trade out of that group. It was what? It was Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Hart, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even though Josh Hart's doing his thing in New York, but Brandon Ingram is like.
No, Brandon Ingram's a problem.
He's a demon, bro.
Yeah, he's a problem.
Young KD.
It never looks serious. Always looks like he's freaking blasted.
No, he really does.
Which is crazy.
He looks like.
Are you awake right now, bro?
He looks like he just smoked 3 blunts right before every game.
Like, first of all, if you're gonna tween, cross, this and that, and then just pull a mid-range jumper in my face like that, open your eyes. Okay. All right? Don't squint your eyes the entire time. You're freaking ridiculous. How do you even see the court?
Imagine like he shoots in your face. Oh, sorry, that's an ad from my computer, but
happens.
Like, he shoots a shot right in your face, right, and you're expecting him to look. It doesn't even look like his eyes are open.
It doesn't even. And no expression or nothing like that. That kid is straight hoops. Love it. Bud and hoops. Call him Air Bud.
Ooh. Call him MJ Marijuana. Come on, bro. It's all.
We're out here giving new monikers out. Oh,
you get a moniker. You get a moniker. You get a moniker. Well, look, man.
Come on now.
Learning new words, learning a little bit about basketball, getting a little bit into it, a little bit here and a little bit there. Coming soon. We'll let you know when it's happening.
Ooh, this is exciting news, everyone.
We're getting on the camera, everybody. You can clap that up. We'll talk more about it when Petey's around, but we're getting on the camera. We got something beautiful set up for you guys coming soon. You guys are going to like it. You guys are going to love it. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching the show. And as always, I'll see ya.